thing to hear after a sound check.
Yeah.
All right, now let me throw on the loud one.
You're as bad as the D&D cast, where everyone's like, all right, sound checks, everybody. And everybody like gets right up on their mic.
Really exciting to be
Everyone's like,
here for the
okay,
sound check.
check 1 2, check 1 2. I'm like, okay, gang, everyone sounded great. All right, let's play. And then everyone is like back over here. Okay, I'm ready to play now.
Crash down with a hammer.
That's exactly how it's Kevin's catchphrase he hits every time.
Tremendous.
Hi, welcome to the show. Welcome to the freshly mic-checked, calibrated. We calibrate our mics every fucking show down here. Andrew, the Talking Reckless video game podcast. Andrew Captain's here.
Yeah. It's weird when you call me Andrew.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Yeah.
I keep doing it now. It's because I did it once in podcast. And you think that's upsetting. Watch this. Hello, Brandon Lynch.
Hello, Matthew. I was helping Andy move with another buddy who I had never met prior. And said buddy kept calling Andy Andrew.
Oh.
And I just wanted to say to him, you stop that.
Stop it right now.
You stop that while we move.
Go apologize to that man for what you just called him.
You call him Andrew when I'm not around.
It was really weird too.
Flip that switch behind you.
Oh,
let's get the evening lighting here for the podcast.
Ooh, sexy. I like that a lot. Yeah. That
Now
looks good
we're-
too.
Fuck
That's cool.
top lights.
Look
Yeah.
at us. Fuck top lights.
Fuck top lights. That's gonna be my new Twitter bio. It was really weird to officially come back from Thunder Bay, and they would always do that to me whenever I came out for visits. But it was weird to come back and be around them a lot more and have all my regular high school friends call me Andrew on a regular basis. I wouldn't even know how to react to it. There'd be times I wouldn't even look. I'm just this feels fucking weird.
When did Andy pick up? Was it not till college?
It was late in high school, so I'd been friends with them kind of throughout junior high, and then once I kind of started getting into the professional world, I started to kind of flip it over a bit. So.
Is that so? My middle initials are JR, and I've often had the what if I just started going by JR? Yeah. What if I just right now today was nope, I'm no longer Matt. I will only answer to JR.
Mm-hmm. It would piss all us off.
Yeah,
because we want to call you Matt.
And do you think you just did that? Not just, but do you think you did that exact thing to all your high school friends one day? It's you know what, Andy, no more. Scribbling out all the REWs on all your binders and things, and just a big Y.
Yeah. I never felt the need to make them call me anything different. And even now, I'm they call me Andrew. Fine, it is whatever. And I mean, if you guys all started it, well, actually, no, you're not allowed to. Yeah. But I can't. There was never a defining moment. Andy's the short form for Andrew. I think the big thing for me was that Andy, which is weird because I think I got this backwards. I thought Andy sounded more like an adult name, so that's why I flipped it, when I think Andrew's actually more of an adult name than Andy is. But
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you were wrong. Now
right.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong, yeah. But I think that's honestly the real reason why I changed it, was I felt like Andy was more adult and more fitting for a professional.
I mean, Andy is a man who's ready to have a good time. He's ready to party. Andrew is showing up on Sundays to try and sell you a Bible on the doorstep.
Yeah. Fuck
What
that
about
guy.
Drew? You know Drew?
Oh, Drew would be. I wish if I have a son, he will be named Drew. I
Drew
love
is a very good name.
Drew. I wish I was named Drew.
Yeah, I mean, enough people call me that too, where it's fine.
Goodbye, Drew Perth.
I call you 6 different things.
Yeah, I've got a lot of nicknames.
Oh, so many.
Yeah, just within this group of friends.
90% of them just we're throwing out there in a 5-minute conversation.
Some are variants on other nicknames that we've. The man who dripped the drap for the very first time here.
Oh, the drip trap, yeah, Rocket League.
The and-diddle to our fiddle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and yours and Warren's and yours, you guys can always make these stupid names, and yours kind of rhyme together, but then you got to shoehorn my version in there.
Brittle, fiddle, and diddle.
Yeah, the first time we took whittle and brittle and be well, what's up, and diddle? It's just that doesn't make any. Yeah, no, you know what? It works. We're good. Let's keep moving.
Yep.
Diddle doesn't really sit either.
Yeah, we decide we are all fiddle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was not on board with that for the longest time. No. Took a while.
We are all fiddle.
Yeah, but now I like it because if I blame something on someone, nobody ever knows who I'm talking to.
Or,
so it's good.
Or sometimes in Overwatch, it's particularly not helpful to be fiddle, I need healing. Yeah. And then 5 seconds pass, and everyone will be who are you talking to? I'll be oh, fuck. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, I mean, I would just assume if the fiddle that is the healer would figure that out.
Sometimes there's two.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, they both could fucking go then.
It's definitely
and then, I'm soldier, so I have I'm not a healer, but I have the little healing thing. So
running over to
everyone just sprints
I'm on my way.
The whole team just bails out.
Yeah, not to keep putting tabs onto all these conversations because I know we got to get to talking about our games, but
We gotta-
It's a light week.
Yeah.
Let's burn some time.
But also too, when it comes to games, that's one time that I get really weird with names, where I usually call everybody out by their gamer tag. Like,
Squiggly.
Yeah, like, hey, Squiggly, I need some healing, or...
It's nice because Brittle is right
used to-
in my gamer tag.
Yeah,
so
well,
that
but I
you'll-
always used to call you Crossroads.
Yeah.
Like, we'd be playing Destiny, I'd be like, Crossroads, I need something, or Cross or something.
That's upsetting.
Destiny I did a little more often because I needed the other people to know that I was talking to you specifically.
Oh, yeah, like for raids and stuff
Yeah.
like that, even though they were still dickheads
Yeah,
and never
it
did
didn't
what
help,
we needed
but,
to do.
but I thought it was in my
Doggos.
best interest.
Was that Destiny's going on Game Pass? We all maybe kind of sort of thinking we should check that
we're
expansion
kinda
out.
maybe
Because why not?
Well,
So I haven't even done Shadowkeep.
Neither
so
have I.
there's two full they're like yearly updates. They're big ones.
Yeah.
That we could cut through because me and Warren and Aber were jumping in the last couple days and playing it, not realizing that hadn't gone on Game Pass yet.
Yeah,
thought-
September,
I knew
I think.
the light one, Beyond Light.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming up kind of par and parcel with the new consoles. But I thought that the other stuff was out now. Was out on the day they announced it at the Microsoft thing.
I think Destiny comes to Game Pass in September.
Right. And I think
maybe how it
you're
works.
right. Because we were playing it and I'm like, guys, like half the fucking shit in this game is locked and I'm not really sure why. And then we looked it up and we're like, oh yeah, none of this is free yet.
Also, I heard crossplay is going to be coming in maybe in the new year. They said, but that'd be cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
they play. Some people play wherever they want.
Yeah.
I think we should think about getting back into Destiny. Also, I think I am. I think I'm in a mentally. I think I am in a not better state by any means, but I'm ready to
different
raid.
kind of
I'm
bad?
ready to raid. I'm ready to raid. The world is so terrible. 14s, you say doggo. 14-year-olds. You can say doggo all fucking day. I'm not gonna crack.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I actually got
I've had years
pretty
and
on board
years
with Doggo, so
to put on. Yeah, so in a weird way.
Nah.
and
Big floof.
And I was just gonna say it wasn't really Doggo that got me
Small
on board.
floof.
Big floof is kind of the one I really
Big
liked. I was
floof's
like,
a good one.
that's pretty good. I like that a lot.
Once in a while, but if every single 5-minute time we die, you're like, oh, the big floofs are.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I'd probably be okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
well,
mean, Big Floofs is better than Doggo objectively. So.
yeah, but I don't want to hear. And it's you know what it is too. It's the way some of those fucks said it. It's the way that they delivered it.
Oh, yeah.
the Doggo. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Get out of here.
And also,
Prince.
when we're dying to a room that just has 6 dogs in it, it's like we don't need to talk about what went wrong every time.
we know.
It was the dogs got us again.
Yeah.
They'll
No-
keep getting us until we win.
Nobody's saying, how'd you die? Oh, I got stuck out of the room. The doggo's got me. Fuck off. Nobody's saying, we know what happened. We know what
You
happened.
always know what
you
happened.
are a dipshit, and now we got to do this over again, and Matt's going to leave in half an hour
Yeah.
if we don't
Not
fucking
anymore.
figure this out.
Not anymore. I'm ready. I don't get up at 5 a.m. anymore.
No.
I don't know.
You're a professional video
I'm a
gamesman.
professional video gamesman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm better at silently being incredibly furious and just saying nothing anymore. I've learned how to mute the mic.
You've wasted hours playing way worse games than Destiny raids.
Yeah,
way
it's
worse.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to raid.
There is still something about whenever people say we should get way into Destiny, there's still a shiver that goes down my spine. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, it
I don't
legitimately
know if
scares
I
me.
can.
And I think,
We
too,
don't have to get way into, but just
well,
It's
and
so
so
hard to be
raid
just
here
a
and
little
there,
bit
you know
into
what I'm saying?
Destiny.
And that's the thing, is that I'm going to get way into Destiny because it's happened before and twice now. When the first time, obviously, when Destiny came out, played the fucking piss out of that game when it was a grind back in the day.
It was not a very
Loot cave.
good-
You remember the glorious loot cave and the
Yeah, and nobody else was doing it, right? We fucking were sinking all these hours into it. And then when they came out with it would have been Destiny 2. It wasn't the King's DLC or whatever, but
Taken King?
it wasn't
Taken
Taken
King.
King. Yeah, we just brushed that. We didn't even do the raid. But yeah, when Destiny 2 came out all over again, fucking it took my life again. I was like, I just fucking gotta fucking
remember
play Destiny.
the being on that big spaceship and having to hide behind the things when you're hiding from solar flares
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
something.
That was
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That was a beautiful fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot
and
the cup out of his hand.
Callus Cup was great.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that because I just feel so behind, and I'm sure they put some stuff into onboarding you smartly because they know there's going to be this influx of
A
people.
link to the grimoire, the grimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part, and I don't really care about the lore, but there's a part of me that is just wonder if I should just make a new character when that
Yeah,
comes back, and
I mean,
then
sure.
they'll treat me like I've fucking never played a game of Destiny. Maybe that's what I need. I need the game to be like, oh, this guy started new. He doesn't even know how
Left
to
trigger
know.
to, all right, Guardian, look at the lights. First the
Yeah.
top one, now the bottom
Yeah,
one.
calibrate my sticks. invert my axes.
Speaking of, you say you don't care about the lore. I find myself actually being a little interested in just tangentially. Again, I'm not in there playing.
Right.
I'm not in there reading for myself. I hear
like-
stories from other people. I'm like, that sounds cool.
Yeah, that thing might be a big giant egg.
That thing might be a big giant egg. And all right, Andy, hear me out. What if? Because it's beyond light, right? We're gonna and Eris Morn has been interpreting messages from the darkness, and it's very much we're gonna have to work with the darkness. But we don't know.
Oh God, I'm getting into Destiny again.
Yeah,
Fuck. Anyways,
all right, Traveler. What if the have you seen the pyramid ships?
no.
Okay.
The ships.
That was Shadowkeep.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Which one's a pyramid ship? I can't even remember
Like
what that
big
is.
triangles.
They just look like big flying pyramids.
Okay, I want to say yes. Then I probably.
Yeah, I'm not really sure the like which faction they're associated with the significance. But anyways, current thinking is that Traveler's going to crack open and there's going to be a really big pyramid ship in that fucking sphere. Because think about how a pyramid could fit into a sphere or some kind of terrible darkness entity. And this is the part I really love. Because it's kind of built into the lore that you respawn. When you die, the Traveler brings you back, right? Gives you a little piece of light and you respawn. And then you go and you kill more enemies and you give light back to the Traveler. And the thing is, the Guardians are always feeding light into the Traveler and the Traveler's reviving them over and over so they can, fight the whatevers.
The good fight.
The good fight. What if it's not the good fight? What if that's the bad fight? And like we are feeding this monster in this egg and it is going to hatch because the Guardians have been dying and killing and raiding and feeding light to this thing. And
Everything we've been doing could be terrible.
that's right. Everything could be terrible. And the Traveler's not the thing that saves civilizations. It's the thing that ends civilizations.
That would be an incredible way to really respark Destiny.
Yes.
Like that
For the
would
first
And
time
then-
ever, maybe,
Yeah.
I would care about that Destiny
Yeah.
story.
I mean, Cade died, or Cade, right?
Cade 6?
Him was a big one. Like that was a big deal to bring it back a little bit. Well, for people who love Destiny, it was a big
I
deal.
really like that is the best thing Destiny has done out of the Destiny I played.
Right.
Also the
is-
worst. He's a good man.
Well, yeah,
He's a good guy.
the meanest. Yeah, the best story content that I've played in Destiny has been the avenging of Cade 6. So.
Yeah, like that whole, even like the whole beat, like that first hopping in there and running through that stuff where you're helping him do the thing and stuff. I was like, this is like the most involved I've felt in a Destiny story was with that. So
and
it
it's
was really
Nathan Fillion. I like Nathan
Yeah,
Fillion
he's
a
good,
lot.
man.
I know a lot of people
Local
don't
boy.
care for him, but yeah, local boy.
Yeah,
homegrown
I
talent.
really like Nathan Fillion. I always have.
We were like our Edmonton pride was hurt when he was
Big
killed.
time.
And
Might as well have been putting two in the back of Edmonton's head instead of Cade's.
exactly. The other thing that ties in with all this dumb Destiny lore stuff is apparently they want to bring in some new environments, like new planets, and they don't want to spread it out anymore. They don't want
Game's too big.
The game's too big, and they want to keep it small and dense. So like, well, as we add these new environments, we actually want to take out some of the environments that you used to play on, and they think that some of the story beats will be about like story ways that they're going to make those planets go away.
Yeah.
Just have them annihilated.
Yeah,
Because
something like
so
that.
they're like going into the vault, they say, and then periodically they will, the Venus, whatever the open world was, I can't remember the mission
IO,
area or
maybe?
whatever. Yeah. But like, that is it's normally can't go to it anymore. It's in the vault. We put it away for now, and then they sound like they're going to periodically take things out of like, because the Vault of Glass is available now, even though that is a vaulted thing from Destiny
vaulted
1.
vault.
The vaulted vault. Yeah, they're bringing the vault back out of the vault.
I thought you were going to say that the vault that they're going in is the Vault of Glass.
No.
No.
I'm totally keeping track of all of this.
Yes, no,
But
it makes no
anyways.
sense, but all the sense.
But anyways, it would be very cool if like, what if the reason that Venus is in the vault is because Venus got blowed up? Venus got destroyed or something. That's very cool.
Yeah. And I mean, also, too, like, I wouldn't want a whole bunch of that, but it would be very easy just to be like, there's no reason for us to go to this planet right now. Like, the story's not there. No reason to be there. We're here now.
It's probably one big event, one big cataclysm. They kind of did this in WoW, where they had a big. It was literally called the Cataclysm, where they changed the shape of the world and like broke continents and moved things around or whatever. And that's kind of how I envision like one big like, oh, the darkness is invading all these worlds. Guardians, we need you to. Here's your weekly. Go shoot guys on Venus or whatever.
Well, and it feels like with it coming in time with the new consoles and hopefully with the crossplay and everything, it feels like the closest we're going to get to a Destiny 3, because we're not going to get a Destiny 3 for a very long time. This feels like
if
you're
ever.
going to get this big influx of new players. You're probably going to drop a lot of story content here. You've got your whole battle pass thing.
adding a
in
new
place.
element with the new expansion.
Yeah, those look cool,
power
actually.
sets.
That ice stuff looks dope.
I was gonna say you saw the video where he like throws the grenade on the wall and makes a platform that everybody jumps on.
Yeah. Well, and then even just
Changes the game.
like throwing them at the ground or whatever, and they were like freezing enemies on the ground and stuff, and then
Or
just like humchucking a
cover
grenade
to
in there.
hide behind. Oh,
Yeah, the
dope.
cover was sick. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah,
dope.
I mean that stuff always like looks so much cooler in those, obviously, but still, the new abilities look neat. I really like the wall stuff though, like making the platforms, because that seems like a real good. You know, you need that specific class to come into the raid with you, which is like most raids.
Oh, yeah.
But you always feel like the man when you have that ability and you're like, all right, everybody fucking step back. I'm going to set the platform up. We're all going to go across. And like, I love that shit. I get all fired up about that.
Isn't it like? Don't you find that a little stressful in like I do a little bit of World of Warcraft raiding these days, and when I find when I have one specific role of like, you know, I gotta, all right, when the timer counts down, I gotta press this button. If I don't press this button, 40 people are gonna die, and everyone is gonna be so fucking mad at me. And at least Destiny, it's only 5.
You usually,
but
you just get it wrong so many times that you kind of get numb to the criticism.
Yeah, that's honestly it. Yeah.
There was a time, so there's a part of the Callus raid, Leviathan, I think it's called, where you have to do this section called running the Gauntlet, or the Gauntlet, and everyone's kind of on the inside doing like much more regular Destiny stuff, which is killing enemies, occasionally shooting like lit up targets, and on the outside, you and another guy are basically doing like high speed platforming, and you're running around the edges and the things are falling, and it's like and you're communicating what you're seeing the whole time, and that's how they know what things to shoot.
is that Dog Bottom? That's that one?
It is a different part of the same raid that the dogs were in.
It's not the one where you gotta like where it like shows you a sign and then a lane and you're like I don't remember them all. It's top.
It was like there was no symbols, but there was like rows would light up, and I'd be like, I think whichever row didn't light up. I think 2 rows lit up, and I had to call out the one that didn't light up so that my teammates knew which ones to shoot the right ones.
They were kind of like moving through. It looked like an anthill almost, right? It was like a side. It was like we were
like
watching
a colony?
from the side.
Yeah,
where
the
they had
sides
to,
were glass, and we were just running in a circle around the arena you were fighting in.
Opening. We had to tell them which path to open or not open.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I totally remember that.
As I'm kind of calling out, and you guys are kind of shooting me a path through, I was always very aware that like what I'm doing isn't easy. Like the platforming in Destiny is not super tight, and what I'm doing isn't easy, but it's easier than what everyone in there inside the thing are doing. And I felt so bad whenever I'd get something wrong, because I'd be like, fucking kind of really only have one job. Don't fall in the pit and get the call outs right.
Yeah.
Raiding is very stressful.
Yes.
Everybody was relying on each other.
And then we got our boy Carrie in there though, and Carrie will just chill you right out.
God bless him.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever.
He's the soul of the.
I've never played Destiny with him. I think I played something with him though. I remember.
He's good
Very
shit.
chill. Never he blames everything on himself. Never you could have to hit one shot and miss it, and he'd be like, "Yo, that was my bad."
I think
I'm really sorry about that.
I think that when we first met him was when we were trying to get through those dogs, and you had left probably because everybody
That
was
night.
calling the dogs doggos.
You ever see me and Carrie in the same room?
Oh,
That's true. Maybe you're Carrie.
interesting.
All right then.
Your alter ego.
Very altered.
At that specific moment in time when you left, it might have been the
was
exact
nice.
opposite person of you.
That was when I snapped. That was when
was just- yeah, that's when you
Two-Face
lost
took
it.
over from Harvey Dent.
Yeah, you were mad. But yeah, so I think that was the night that he came in though, and yeah, like it's amazing how much just that attitude change makes something go so much better. Like just enough, right? Because we all, if we got wiped, and then we'd be like, Carrie'd be like, "Sorry boys, that was my bad." It's all good, Carrie. Fuck, you know what? Let's get this next one for Carrie. All right, let's hop back in there, and you get back in there. But
Fucking A, boys, for Carrie.
Even though we knew it was actually our fault.
Oh yeah,
Carrie
absolutely.
didn't
Yeah.
do anything wrong.
Well, and that's
Carrie
why
was clearly the best person in this group. But
yeah. The Callus stuff too, and that was really frustrating because of the whole dark.
that
zone
was
or
what you
whatever.
were talking about. Calling out symbols.
You're
And
in the
the actual
Yeah,
boss.
sha-
I
in the
remember
shadow
starting it. I remember that you had to shoot the cup, and then so somebody had to go into the shadow side, and somebody had to stay on the real side.
Yeah.
What a nightmare! Raiding
Yeah.
in general, what a nightmare! It's the Dark Souls thing, but instead of it being you alone, it's what if we had to do Dark Souls in a team?
Yeah, and nobody can fuck up.
Yeah, just like kind of the first time you play through those first games, like and it's the thing with any raid, right? The first time you do it, it is so hard. You probably wipe 40 times, and eventually you get it. It's like, oh, we're king. We'll never do this again. We're kings of the world. And then like 2 weeks later, you're just running it in 2 hours, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, everybody's going in there and just farming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really looking, man. This Destiny talk is. I'm ready to raid. I'm
heck of
ready
a-
to
it's a heck of a
fucking
game.
raid. Let's do this.
Well, I'm in.
Me as well.
Good luck.
Soon. We'll have them before September.
Yeah, I'll jump back in. I'll probably jump back in and at least look at that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Worst case scenario, you hate it. And you
I don't think I can go half in on Destiny, and I don't want to go all the way in on Destiny.
Yeah,
so.
that's my biggest problem.
That's fine.
Too.
We'll just dip our toes, and if it pulls people in, if there's not, I don't think there's gonna be a lot to play this holiday. Or if there is, they're gonna have to announce it soon.
It's gonna be 2. Oh, I see. Like many different games.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna have new consoles, but nothing to do.
Because I think
on them.
we are specifically going to have a lot of Destiny to play.
Oh, yeah.
When that stuff hits, because Shadowkeep it was a big one.
Yeah.
And there might even be little half ones on
Yeah.
top of that.
There's quite a few that I've missed. I didn't even know the last. I don't think I got any
Because you
expansions
didn't do
for.
Forsaken either, probably, eh?
Forsaken was good. That
Forsaken
good.
was the one
Those
with Cade
two?
6.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, I think I sort
Forsaken
of.
was good. The 2 before Forsaken were garbage.
Yeah, that'd be cool to get back in there. And it's weird caring a little bit about the story and like that dumb ship thing that was stupid. I watched it took an hour for the ship to crash and it's kind of. But the fact that they're doing stuff is interesting.
They've changed it a lot since you played it last, too. Like, I know they put the beginning of Destiny 1 at the beginning of Destiny 2 now. To kind of like for people who are jumping in, they're like, we're going to give you that original origin story real
That
quick.
wizard is from the moon.
That's right.
It's got
you
original
gotta know the
Dinklage
basics.
VO and
You
everything.
got to know Destiny 101. And then they get you kind of like, it's not the whole campaign, but they push you right into the Destiny 2 stuff after that.
Yeah.
But they wanted you to have that like waking up in like the pile of dead bodies and junk
Coming back to life.
from with the ghost reviving you. Yeah,
Makes me think that is particular act of revival is significant.
could be.
I would love it to be. Oh, I love shit like that. It's like, no, this thing you've been doing the whole time, this gameplay mechanic that you've been doing the whole time.
I like to think of it a lot
Crazy.
as Star Wars, where they're gonna act like they always had a good plan,
Yeah.
but they're just seat of their pants right now.
So it's like-
and then it's a Furby in the egg, and
Like any good D&D game, you kind of assess each week. And you're like, what do they think is in the egg? Okay, well that's not in the egg anymore. It was,
was
but
in the egg.
not anymore.
Egg's gonna hatch and Future's gonna pop out and everybody's gonna get a concert in Destiny. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh god,
oh hey,
I'd be kind of
that'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I'd be pretty down with everyone knowing an event's gonna happen with that thing, and then when the egg hatches, it's like a musical act of
Yeah.
some sort.
Who was
Yeah.
the last Travis Scott? It's a giant. It's from.
Oh, it's giant.
The Travis Scott hologram.
But you have to
Fortnite.
fight him though this time. You have to fight giant Travis
Shoot
Scott.
the cup out of his hand.
Yeah.
and then-
Dinklage is that wizard is from the moon.
That's right. The real moon wizard.
Oh man, what about video games that we've been playing?
Oh, is this a real show?
It's fun to look forward
Was
to. The
this
future.
whole thing the real show?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
why
this
not?
was Tron the
No,
whole time.
why not? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, that's
I
good
would-
talk.
It was great talk.
That's good Destiny talk right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just do a Destiny podcast. Add it to the list. You don't do enough already.
Don't put. If you say something, it has to go on the list. I'm just going to warn you not to put things like that in. I'm just going to write this down here. Destiny.
Now the people want it.
Destiny 2
Never say it
spoiler
unless you're willing to
cast.
do it. I didn't say it, just for the record.
Yeah, Andy's going to be driving that one, so start taking your notes.
I could drive a podcast. That'd be great. First thing I would say is, did anybody bring notes?
That's how you drive.
Yeah. Does anyone know where the gas is?
Does anybody know how to drive?
Brandon, what you been playing? Just kidding. I already know because Andrew wrote it on my paper.
Hell yes. I've been playing a couple of things we've already talked about that we can touch on real quick. I've put almost no extra work into Ghost of Tsushima,
One ghost.
One ghost.
There's one ghost.
but I'll never stop almost saying ghosts.
Yeah, I have to correct myself every time too.
I've done, like, I still haven't got off that island.
the first section.
The first island.
The
I'm
first
still in
of
Act 1.
3, I think.
Yeah, I think I have a mission in the top left corner that very clearly is telling me to go build a grapple hook.
Yeah, go build that hook.
Yeah, I need to because there's fucking like some of the collectibles I want to get are out of my reach. So that was the way they got me to actually do story content. Was they're like, you can't keep doing these dumb fucking collectible hunts unless you get your grapple hooks.
There's so many of
Guess
them.
I'll play the game then.
There's so many. Word to the wise, don't. You'll have a lot of time to do side content. Don't fill up on bread before the entree. Like I have done, where I've done almost everything on that first island and played probably 35 hours. Like, I've played enough ghosts. I'm good.
Yeah.
This has been a fun game.
Sure.
Haven't even touched the second or third islands yet.
I mean, I think I'll go pretty fast it's hard for me to believe, even just in the, like, watching my numbers go up on my little checklist. It's hard for me to believe that there's anything close to as much side stuff on the other islands.
I think the bulk of it is.
I feel like it has to be, just like it looks like I have well over half of everything, and there's still 2 more, at least, islands to go visit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's sections of it's all the island of Tsushima, but it's sections.
Right.
off.
Yeah. Paper Mario.
They patched the sorry before we went from
Yes.
Ghost. They patched the new difficulty in.
Yes,
You
I'm
tried?
definitely playing
No.
that.
Are you playing on what are you playing on right now? Normal?
Hard.
Hard, yeah. You find hard kind of easy?
Yeah, hard's easy.
It's like
hard.
like hilariously easy. Like
and the
once
checkpointing is really weird.
Once
in a way.
you get the abilities, you might as well not even really make me fight these guys, and maybe they could just melt as I walk in front of
Because
them.
everyone kind of has like things that make them unique. Like the spear guys do way more of the red pokey attacks and stuff like that. But you can get all the skills that negate those things to the point where you can make that game once you've kind of done all the textures. It's like just block everyone and then counterattack. Just block everyone, counterattack. The only thing you need to do, and you don't even need to do it, is change your stances. Because if you change your stance, you can just run through their blocking.
Yeah.
Even on hard. If you don't change your stance, you'll probably still eventually parry and counterattack enough to kill them.
Yeah,
So-
and like you can change your gear if like I should put my combat gear on. That's one thing I fucking hate is that
Yeah.
every time I go into a situation I have to change into, but there's like 5 or 6 gear sets. One for like stealth bow, legendary bow,
Yeah.
combat, legendary combat, travelers or whatever. And
Right.
every time I go into a thing, it's like, oh, I'm in combat. I guess I gotta pause gear, put my combat armor on. All right, let's go. Oh, I'm stealth, and I guess I better stealth gear here. All right, here we go.
The game is too easy for me to break my immersion like that.
So I've just been leaving the traveler's gear on,
Yeah.
which has a fun cape.
They wouldn't have that. Like, why wouldn't they set that up like, say, with Ori, where it's on a wheel and you just hold L, click to the one you want, let it go, and then it fires it on?
That's kind of what they do.
I don't know.
The
It
stance.
should.
Is that how it works?
No, the armor. No,
Oh, the
armor,
armor.
The armor, I totally think should be, or
No, you should not like.
you should
that
just
that
get
would
the
be
bonuses.
even worse.
You should
Like,
just get all the bonuses as you get the new armor sets. Like, oh, you do 15% more damage out of stealth or whatever. You should just always have that on, and you can make your armor look like whatever you want. Because like everyone can have that bonus all the time. Of like,
Sure.
all right, I'm in stealth. I'm going to pause, change it. I have the bonus.
Yeah.
It's just quality of life. Just give me all the bonuses. Let me customize the armor
put 'em on, yeah.
how I want because I'm very particular about how my samurai man looks.
Yeah, because even more than what you're doing, which is like the pause and change your gear right before a fight, the thing I want even less is to just be like in mid fight and I can just like see my gear like popping to different fucking styles of gear. I'm like, this looks stupid.
It's dumb.
You can
There's
beat everyone with the traveler gear on hard.
There's a lot of confusing aspects of that game, which design wise, which you're like, why? I'm not sure why. Like why? I guess there's a giant why over a lot of it. Of like why the stance thing? It's not even rock paper scissors. It's just like see a dude, switch to his stance. Now I destroy him.
Yeah.
It's not engaging. It's not particularly fun. It's like spear guy, boom boom. You just know these like R2 triangle. All right, here we go.
I'm kind of not tired of it yet. Like
Other
I'm
guy.
kind of like when I call them all and they all come from cities far and wide and line up in a big circle and I just mow them all down. I love just putting the sword away at the end and being like, yes. My work here is done. 100 more enemies dead.
The put the sword away button, like the put and take out your lightsaber button.
Yes.
Fucking dope. Also, the
good.
bow button, very dope. If you bow to corpses, he'll
Yeah.
always have like a little, you deserve better.
Yes.
And I think that's very neat.
Does it clean a sword every time?
Yeah, he flicks the blood off, which is that's what I want from it. I think the putting away is dope, but I like that he like flicks it down by his side and you see all the blood on it just fly off.
No, I don't think that's how that works in real life.
Fucking
But
A.
He's probably not flicking hard enough.
I've seen enough different samurai things where they do exactly that I'm actually kind of wondering if it is possible enough to flick a katana with enough like speed or force, because you can move it pretty fast. That it would any like loose liquid would, it's not gonna be clean of like I'm gonna eat off this, but could you get the liquid blood off enough to put it? And also I think they might wipe it when they.
I feel like they clean it every time.
I feel like they have a wipe in their hand as they're like
Yeah.
we don't have
putting
time.
the
We
scabbard.
don't have time to clean.
Yeah. It'll rust it though. Like because their blades are like super important to them. Like it's basically
It's a lightsaber.
Well, yeah, they like it's an extension of them. They treat it right.
Jedi
So-
is the fantasy like twist on samurai.
Yeah. So I think that they clean it every time. If you were to actually like put a blade through
Just like
somebody.
they did their lightsabers.
Yeah, I wonder. What if you're like in a battle though and you need to?
Well, you fucking-
Yeah, well, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if you got to run though? What if you're like, I'm gonna put my sword away, or I could use my bow. I could use my bow for a bit here. I need to.
Like I think you just clean it every night.
Yeah, I feel like when it's
time
time for maintenance, maybe you take care of it. Yeah, but like, I mean, if you duel somebody, I think after a duel, like they'll wipe, like at least do like a wipe or something.
sharpen it up every night type of.
There has to be that, like, for them more so than anyone who uses this expression, they have to be cleaning this thing, being like, it's just going to get dirty again.
Yeah.
Why am I even doing this? Around that mountain bend.
Thematically
Yeah.
and literally, these hands.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's like Ghost is so weird. I'm really enjoying it, but it is the plain potato chips of video games.
Oh yeah,
It is like the
it
story.
is the podcast game of all podcast games.
The characters might as well not talk. Like the story is, or they might as well just have like here's my shtick. You're like, oh, Uncle is pissed that I use ghost tactics and will constantly be like I'm doing drugs. You're like, you need to give these terrible ways up.
Yeah.
And like, oh, here's the lady who wants to avenge your family. Okay, here's the guy who trained the archer.
Right.
Yada yada yada. Like it's the writing in the story is.
The guy who sells the sake's all right.
Yeah, Kenshi, he's okay.
Yeah. I
really like the musician. Yeah, I like Yamato quite a bit.
Yep.
And I like the Khan. I think the Khan gives a like dope ass performance that I have barely been able to see enough of.
The info on the Khan is like at this point the only artifacts that I read.
Yeah. The artifacts are
the records.
The artifacts might as well be nothing because
the
a lot
artifacts
of them,
I don't care
a
about,
lot
but
of them are
there's-
literally just like I saw a great sunrise today. It's just like diary entries that are just like flavor pieces
And like a lot of like very shallow history on like they use these things to hunt.
yeah.
And they use these things to signal their enemies are nearby. And these captured nightmares.
It's a
Haven't found one that
the
captures
plain
nightmares.
potato chips of video games.
Yeah, it's not bad.
1000%. Not bad at all. Not
But
bad.
you
at
put
all.
it in front of me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I'm
sit
gonna
there.
spend some time with
I'm
it.
not gonna stop until it's done. Probably.
Yeah.
But it's not
Especially if
like
there's
my.
nothing else to eat.
Yeah, it's not like my what do I want for dinner, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Very
You know
interesting.
what the like bowl of candy of video games is?
What is the bowl of candy of video games?
Paper Mario.
The N64.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The Switch version
Oh.
of Paper Mario. Which
Oh,
we've talked
and
about.
the Origami King.
The Origami King. In that it's much better than Sekiro in short doses as you eat it. The candy.
No, Ghost.
Ghost.
Sekiro.
Yes, no,
How
Sekiro.
dare you?
Yes, sorry.
One
You're
of
right.
our games of the
Sekiro.
year.
Sekiro, a game that me and Matt almost ropey-doped into game of the year before I realized that I'd be arguing against my actual game of the year and
Someone
had to
did.
catch myself.
Game Awards, I think. Someone gave Sekiro Game of the Year.
Game Awards did, yeah.
I remember being like stunned. Like, oh, my people. My sickness has infected the masses now.
Outer Wilds wasn't even like brought up on that show, I think. Anyway, Paper Mario is dope. We talked about it a lot on the last show, but you haven't really given your opinion on it. One thing I didn't bring up was the boss battles, and it's kind of good that I didn't because I'd only done one at the time, and now I've done I think 3 or 4. The boss battles, you remember I was telling you about the ring structure where
Yep.
you start on the bullseye.
That's right.
You kind of move
You
the
can
outsides
rotate
around,
rings or move slices.
Move the pizza slices. In the boss battles, they put the boss on the middle of the ring, and you're on the outside, and there's like directional arrows strategically placed all over the ring, and then like damage amplifiers and action amplifiers and all sorts of other stuff. And then you are rotating to kind of make your way like a maze path through the rings to get to an attack space. Question in the back.
Hi, Matthew. First time, long time.
Yes.
Is Mario moving from the ring, or is he always in the center of the ring?
During the fights against everyone but bosses, he is in the center of the ring.
And he doesn't
you're-
move.
And he doesn't move. Well,
Okay.
you attack.
Yeah.
But he stays in the
stays
center,
in
of
that
the,
center
ring
of the ring.
the whole time. Yeah, between every turn, he goes back to the middle.
Okay.
And you have another turn.
Okay.
In the boss battle, he always starts on the outside.
Oh, weird.
Yes, and the boss is in the middle of the ring. And then you are
okay.
moving the rings and the pizza slices to kind of make yourself a path of arrows and trying to put as many power-ups in that path as you can until you get to an attack square, which you're also placing where you want. And then you do your damage.
This is hard to parse in a way that I should probably just play this game eventually.
Yes.
So like picture the rings where you have your outside ring. It's just has directional arrows
9
on
were
it.
given to the
So it'll have
dwarves in their halls of stone.
Like we have this ring here.
Okay,
There'll
we
be
can't use visual aids.
First of all, that is a Dungeons & Dragons spell radius marker. Thank you.
But is this not literally the fucking Paper Mario ring?
It's a circle.
Yeah, that's
It
not a
has
ring.
the lines. The edge
too.
of your cup is
But it has
also
the lines too.
And
It's
a
a
slice.
dartboard.
And a slice.
It's a dartboard.
It's a dartboard.
Okay.
But so on the dartboard on each ring, when you're fighting the boss, it'll have, say, an arrow that is pointing forward, one that's pointing left, one that's pointing right. When you command for him to go, he'll run into an arrow, head in that direction of the arrow, and then keep following it until he hits another direction, and he'll take that direction. And the goal is to kind of get him to the middle while you're hitting power-ups on the way. So, you know, you might get hearts, there's some chests. Using the elemental moves, you have to hit an on switch that allows you to actually activate it when you get to the center ring to the boss. Things like that. There's also, like, you have to actually make Mario land on an action space when you get to the boss, otherwise he'll just fall over. So you have to line it up so he's going to hit that space where he'll actually attack the boss.
Maybe play this game. So you're never getting into the, like, it's never the, it is my turn, I'm going to choose attack or item or run or whatever. It's you're hitting attack squares to do attacks. You're landing on the squares.
If you land on an attack square, it basically opens up kind of the options that you have throughout the game when you're in the middle, where it's like, oh, you can jump on them, you can hit them with a hammer, you can even run. I think you can use an item.
But you might go a few turns without an attack if you don't land on one of the squares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, there's a right way to do it. Like I said, there's a right way to do every one of these mini fights along the way.
Yeah.
And there's probably a right way to do every boss fight too, but I don't hit them with the same regularity, where, especially when you're facing a new boss, because the bosses are a lot more interesting than the regular enemies, in that the bosses have like a number of attacks. And for instance, I fought a water boss that he would spend 3 turns sucking in water. So he'd be doing other attacks, but every turn he'd get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And then after 3 turns, it meant he was going to blow up and have a whole big tidal wave of water. Not blow up, he didn't die, but like squirt all the water out and cover the whole board. There's nowhere is safe.
I played that boss in Final Fantasy. That's when I turned it to easy. I was like, fuck this.
Yes. I'm going to take these hits.
Goddamn.
I have enough healing to get through this. So when that attack is coming, which you don't really know is coming until you've been hit by it once, because they don't really spell it out for you. But when that attack's coming, then you realize, like, okay, there's a space where you can use this ability that you get earlier in the game where you can lift a platform up. And so you're like, okay, on this specific turn, because I know he's about to do his tidal wave thing, I need to land on this space that will allow me to raise my section that I'm on above so the water doesn't hit me. And then he goes back to regular size, you go back down, you're like, okay, now I should land on a regular attack square so I can do damage.
I get it. It's a lot more... Like, it's a lot more puzzle game than it is the traditional RPG.
Oh, yeah. No, they definitely really leaned into the whole puzzle side
There's
of it.
kind of almost no RPG in this game.
No, there's not.
The closest thing to RPG, and it's not that close, is you are increasing your maximum health, but you're not doing it through experience. You're doing it through, like, things that you can find, which are largely on the main path. And as they raise your max HP, that seems to be tied to the ability that I was telling you about last week, where your max HP seems to determine if you actually have to fight enemies when you stomp them in the overworld.
Got it, right? Because if you have more, if you're a certain amount of powerful enough, you just kind of skip this
instantly
fight.
kill them.
It also raises your HP, and then it makes you stronger too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it adds both those stats.
Did you buy this game on a cartridge? Any chance?
No, I got it. Sorry, Eats. I just gave you my Switch.
Yeah, maybe when I give you my
PlayStation.
PS4.
Swapsy.
I just got to finish the 900 hours of Ghost of Tsushima I have ahead of me, and then
Well, you have to finish probably 900 hours of Paper Mario.
we'll be good for a swapsy.
Yeah, Paper Mario is actually like
It's not a short game.
no, it's long.
Yeah.
Like I'm only on I haven't even gotten to the 3rd ribbon yet, and I feel like I've sunk 15 hours into the damn thing already.
Let me just say thank you for saying ribbon and not streamer.
Oh,
Thank you.
Well, I think
God bless you.
Do they call them streamers in the game?
I can't remember.
I think it
We
might be
call them streamers on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was calling them streamers on the podcast, which really
I
confused
can't,
Matt.
sir.
It would be like if I was calling them radio announcers to you. It would just break your brain.
Like we call them jocks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, you gotta kill the 6 jocks.
I hate those terms just because they sound so old school, and I feel like hey, what's up? Is
What am I
100.3
supposed to call you?
Well, how do you like?
This personality.
It's
This
not
radio-
even. It's
radio
not even old
personality.
school, but like I fucking hate the term influencer. God
Oh,
damn.
I hate influencer.
Oh
yeah,
my
influencer.
fucking God.
Yeah,
do
influencer is stupid. Just
Jesus
because you know that
Christ.
everybody associated with it is a dick.
Yes.
You actively don't look at yourself in the mirror sometimes.
It's like
No.
there was
Not once. I do that. Am I an influencer?
Yeah.
No, it's the people who are out of
That's
touch.
right.
I'm not an influencer. They're the crazy
Your reflection
ones.
just says back to you, do you want to be an influencer?
I'm usually pretty good with Warren and Brando whenever they're insulting me, but there was a stretch where they were calling me an influencer for a while, and it actively bothered me. I was like it made me not want to do anything on
Makes you
social
feel
media.
like greasy, triggered.
Yeah, because as soon as they would see me post something on Instagram or something, they'd be like, "Oh, Andy, influencer," and I'm like.
Yeah, it's bad.
Stop trying to sell people bubble tea.
Stop trying to sell people bubble tea, Andy. Are you a bubble tea influencer?
No, I mean, if I was able to make money doing it, I'd fucking die.
Listen, if I were an influencer,
so it's more coming from a place of jealousy than actual hatred.
But I wouldn't want to be an influencer. Does that make sense? Because I think
Not
they're
really.
dickheads.
No.
I just think they're douchey. And
People who
So if
use the
someone comes
moniker,
up to you
I
and
agree.
says like by word, like I want you to be a bubble tea influencer, I'm going to pay you such and such a dollar to post about
you
how
got to
much
pick something different than bubble tea. Like I don't want to do bubble tea.
I thought you
Really?
liked bubble
What if it was
tea.
bubble tea? Yeah,
I haven't had a
what if it was
bubble tea
like,
in my life.
No, we're gonna. We don't care. We just want we want the brand. We think the Andy Captain brand will go with our Captain's
gotta
bubble
be-
tea.
Well, that'd be
And it's gotta be bubble tea.
that's a sponsorship.
gotta be bubble
That's
tea.
a sponsorship, though. To me,
Yeah.
that's a
Oh, what's the
sponsorship.
difference?
But a lot of it, the only difference
But
between you, a professional who went through ethics class like I did, and influencers on the internet is you know to disclose that kind of shit. Be like, yo, the people I'm playing this game because they give me money,
Right.
instead of the people who are just like, you should all buy this game and use my code.
So I think that's what it is. Then is that if it's a sponsorship, it would be an extension of what I'm already doing. It would be an extension of Andy. It wouldn't be Andy. Whereas if I'm going to be bubble tea, then I'm an influencer because I'm fucking.
But as soon as you took the sponsorship, I might argue you're an influencer.
Maybe, but it depends. I
So
guess
there we
you
go.
could- you
As
could-
someone who is non-sponsored, right? We are homegrown. We
But
don't want ads.
I would be able to it'd be like, say, a ball player. Like a ball player is not an influencer when they take on a sponsorship. They're a ball player, and they're just famous enough that they have a platform where they can benefit that company
Right.
that's the sponsor.
As long
with
as you're
them.
not famous for the thing that you're
Exactly. As long as you're not famous for the thing that you're pushing,
Yeah.
then you're not an
I'm
influencer.
totally
it's a
an
sponsorship.
influencer. I'm totally. I know.
Oh,
the video games.
I know.
I'm famous
glad
for,
you guys are working through
God
this.
Damn it, dude. I can't. I don't need this in my life right
Your
now.
head's in the right place.
You're fine.
Acceptance is the first
As
step.
long
they
as you
say.
hit yourself an appropriate amount, I can get on board with your influencing.
if it makes you feel any better, you're the only influencer I like.
It doesn't make me.
No.
It's not a high bar. What? What else? What else, Rando?
I started and played a couple hours of Super Hot Mind Control Delete.
That's the standalone kind of expansion to
yeah.
Super Hot.
It feels very sequel-ish.
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of ways. It's not called Super Hot 2. I got my free code for it, which was very nice.
Everybody owns Super Hot. Gets this.
Except for
thing.
Warren apparently didn't.
A lot of folks probably got it for free and
then
Humble
that doesn't
Bundles
count,
or
right?
Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. You have to have paid money for
Right,
it.
that's probably the problem for him then. I actually really like it. I'm playing it it gets a Super Hot. I think I finished in 2 sittings, the original, because it got its hooks in me, and I just always wanted to see what the next little environment was and everything. This is a lot more of a I can't wait to get home and play 3 levels of Super Hot and then put it down.
Because it's a little roguelike-y is
Yeah,
the thing, right?
it's
Little proc gen.
Yeah, it's using a few environments, not like probably 10 or
just
so.
like the first game did,
Yeah.
right? Because there was the whatever 6 or 7 environments, and then you were like different spots
Right.
in the environment.
And yeah, they're putting different people in different spots, and then people have different weapons, and sometimes the weapons break when the people break, and sometimes the weapons go flying in the air so you can catch
Oh
them.
shit!
Yeah.
Catchable weapons.
Yes. The weapons were always catchable in the first one.
They only had katanas, right? They, as far as katanas and
maybe.
hammers, I think.
Baseball bats? No, maybe not.
I've played so much VR that it's
Yeah,
honestly
it's tough
hard
to
for
tell
me to
what's
keep them.
in what.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
I don't think in the original game they had the weapons that were red, the same color as the people.
No, I don't think so
And when
either.
you destroy the people, the weapon blows up with them. So it adds a new layer of it probably shouldn't go to this guy first because I'm not going to get anything useful from him. See if I can get that guy at the end when I have a plant pot to throw at him. Or an 8-ball.
Fucking ashtray. Off this pool
Whatever you
table.
can
Yeah.
find. Sometimes it's just a big pile of fish and you're just fucking throwing 15 of them without moving. It's set up in a way, so it is,
Same gameplay, right? Time moves when you move.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Red crystalline dudes with no faces that explode when you hit them.
Yeah, it feels exactly the same, and the story kind of explains this a little bit. I wouldn't say explain. You kind of have to, it either clicks with you or it doesn't. But it's very much, if you remember at the end of the last game, can I spoil that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
You basically
It's very good.
go through, get the bloodlust from killing everyone in the game, and then the last person that Super Hot, whatever the program
hot.
lets you kill is you come up behind yourself at the computer playing the game and you kill yourself.
So good.
Yes. It was a great ending. And then this game very much picks up with the Super Hot kind of being like, oh, you want more?
You're
no dead.
More. There is
and
no
you
more.
want more.
You're dead.
We don't have any more. And then it is the game, and you can kind of like see it through like glitches, like it's glitching between levels and everything, and you're kind of navigating a level tree that's like sometimes it's all like code and stuff like that instead of intelligible words. And it has the feel of the game kind of like just staying one step ahead of you and being like, hey, he wants to kill more people. Throw him the next level.
Oh, we gotta fire something together here.
Yeah.
Break it together.
So you're moving through kind of a branch. Like there, you beat one level, and then it's like you can go this way or you can go this way. Mm-hmm. And at the end of some branches, there's some quote unquote story. At the end of some branches, there's like upgrades. Like you can get like kind of a charge attack where you can, from a little bit further away, kind of do like a shoulder charge into people that knocks the stuff out of their hands and stuff and lets you close distance.
Are there mind powers in this one?
There might be. I do not have a mind power yet.
There was. I don't remember if there wasn't Super Hot. There was in VR though. There definitely was. In VR, if you squeeze both your fists and hold your fists out together, it would shoot a beam in front of you that would just blow up whoever it was like locked onto. It's so dope.
But it seems really, really neat. I had a moment which would be, and still could be, one of my moments of the year, where it kind of takes you from the spot where where it seems like a regular kind of Super Hot game, and then it kind of goes out into the bigger thing that it is. And it's not the moment in that there's something very cool there, but it's the very first level that I played is in like an environment called the Club or something, and the jam, like it's just fucking banging. It's so much fun. And I thought that was more of a set thing that was always going to happen to you, and they're like, oh, they're playing this intense music because they know that I just figured out what the game was going to be like, and they get me, and this is dope. But I think I just totally lucked out because I think you could also play that level and it's not the Club, and there's not bumping music, and so I think I just got a really good experience with that. But you should let me know if
you kind of proc it into your like
I got a
shotgun cocking
exactly.
on the beat.
I got a lucky shotgun cock. Anyway,
That's what they call me.
yeah. I would totally recommend it, especially if you're getting it for free.
Super Hot is so unbelievably good and
it's addicting,
novel, and hard to describe. Have you played Super Hot?
No, I haven't.
Brother? Fuck, you gotta play some Super Hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Game Pass too. And if it's only like, if you can beat it in 2 sittings, then
it's real. You'll kind of get it when you'll be like, oh, okay, I see. You can beat it with 2 sittings.
It's very simple.
But then you also go on to spend like 50 hours with it in a way.
Yeah. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept, but it's one of those...
Time moves when you move.
Yeah.
So simple.
One of those simple video games that, like, once you get it, and you're like, oh, I know what this game is. A lot of the games, once you know what that game is, you can just put it down. This one, you're like, oh, just keep feeding me the levels.
Yeah.
This never stops being fun.
And Super Hot VR, I still think, well, Half-Life Alyx is very good, actually. But that's a whole different... That's a $60, 12-hour investment. Super Hot VR is maybe the best thing in VR still. I feel pretty good saying that.
Far and away my favorite VR experience.
Yeah, and it's like such an easy thing to just... I wish I had like an Oculus Quest, because it's such an easy thing to just pick up and show somebody, be like, no, just take these controllers, time moves when you move, all right, figure it out.
Yeah.
And like it just clicks in a way that...
They also do the instant replay at the end.
In like real time.
In like real time after you've done it. So you're just like... all the strategy that you've been doing, like, okay, I got to throw an ashtray at him because I need him not to shoot me, and then I got to punch this guy and grab his sword and throw it at that guy. That'll get rid of him. And then you, like, when you see it all, like, go in real time without slowed down, you're just like, wah, wah, wah! Everyone just falls dead.
It's very good. I think you'll really like Super Hot. I love Super Hot. It's very cool. What else?
That's it. That's it for me.
That's it for you, Andy. Tell me a little bit about, you got any thoughts on Paper Mario? I'm sorry, we should have came to you during the Paper Mario. Any thoughts on Paper Mario here?
I thought that about the whole time too. I was like, oh, we're just...
You can always jump in. Don't ever...
No.
You're a little, you're new blood. You're newer to the podcast, but like...
Just tell us to shut up.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm okay with Brando finishing up his stuff and then coming to the next person. That's fine. I do want to say a couple things about Paper Mario because I haven't.
Too bad. Matt needs it.
As the host, so you just jump in there and we're talking about goddamn Paper Mario.
Yeah, I mean, well,
don't wait for me to. My point is, don't wait for me to point to you because it ain't never gonna happen.
You just did.
Well, yeah, but you just gotta get in there and be like.
So, anyways, Paper Mario. It's a real good game.
Question from the back.
But no, I didn't get a chance to talk about it for the last couple, so I wanted to share some thoughts, even though Brando's kind of probably went through it for the most part.
Talk about how good the water looks.
How good does the water
The water does look real friggin' good.
I
like,
love good water.
That whole game in general, like it's...
I love super water.
It's astounding how gorgeous it looks. Like it is an incredible looking game.
Super.
It's real, like it's like paper people, and then like, everything is paper
And
or
real
origami,
water.
and then all of a sudden real water comes in. You're like, oh.
But it still has paper effects though, because they still have like textures on top of it that look like it's almost as if somebody
like
chopped
the
up.
splashes are paper,
Yeah,
but
like
the
if-
water is not.
Yeah, like if somebody was to chop up different colors of construction paper or something, and then like layer it into like water. So
Is it like kryptonite to if paper people get wet, do they just I'm melting?
Oh, no,
like
no,
literally melt.
no, I don't think so. I'm actually not entirely sure how that works. I think Mario can't go into it because
What
he
a
can't.
great ending it would be if Paper Mario fell into a puddle and like Terminator dissolved with just the hand, the thumbs up.
That'd be it. Yeah.
I had a little bit of beef with like there was a part of the game where they're like, "Don't jump off that thing; it's too high," and I'm like, "Bitch,
Motherfucker,
on
love it."
paper."
Yeah, I think
And
it's-
also, there was a part at the very beginning of the first
Where you
Paper Mario
fell.
where you fell and just fucking like a sheet
Yeah.
of paper.
And the first thing you learn in those first two games is how to fold yourself into an airplane.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think he's fallen enough in that to make that stupid. Yeah, because there's been lots of times where he's fallen from high heights and just been totally fine. Yeah, whatever.
He knew he could. He was just being polite.
Yeah. No, I'm actually really liking it, and the last few have been rough, as I've said before. As somebody who is a very passionate Paper Mario fan, Thousand Year Door, very close to being one of my favorite games of all time.
Banger.
Yeah, I don't know, it just hit me at the right time in life. But so yeah, ever since I actually really liked Super Paper Mario 2, which is a little polarizing. But that fucking sticker star, my god. I remember I think it was you that asked me if you could borrow it, and I was just like, no.
You literally looked me in the eyes and took the cartridge and just snapped it. I was like, "You're welcome."
Yeah, like, no, you're gonna want to skip out on this one, man. It's I wouldn't say that it's I don't even really know how to describe how I feel about it, because there's a lot that I like, but there's still that little part of me that's like, this just isn't it still isn't the same as that experience I got from those both two games. But that being said, like, looks gorgeous. The writing in it is tremendous.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
is the
Oh, good lord, it's fucking hilarious. Like they
snappy in a way that a Nintendo game has no right to be.
It's
Well-
made me laugh out loud maybe more times than any game I've played in a long time.
Yeah, and you're one thing that I thought would kind of get old is that one of the big things in the game is that you're always saving toads. So everywhere,
Vintage.
but you're not just like saving them all at the end this time or like with a boss. You have to like find them because they're like stuck under
Yeah.
shit and stuff in the environment.
Like on this little section, there's going to be like 5 hidden toads somewhere. They maybe hit
Instead
a
of
tree.
stars, we're doing toads this
Sure,
time.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I'm
you
with
just have to like you bash rocks and shake them. Most of the ways that you find them is with your hammer. But it's great. Like, and
yeah.
even just finding the toads themselves is funny, because there'll be a fucking bug running around and you hit the bug with your hammer and it pops up and it's a toad.
What?
And then the toad will have some smart remark, "Oh, thanks, Mario. It was my life's dream to be a beetle." And then he just like jets.
Like really good, like dumb one-liners.
He's got to go before he can say anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Like there is, but the thing that I thought would get old are those like quips.
Beetle.
But it was
Toad, you son of a bitch!
It's-
Just as he's running away.
it's those quips after every time you save them, and I thought, okay, they might do like a few of these throughout the start and then kind of taper off a little bit. But like every single one you save has a quip. I thought I'd get tired of them. They're all fantastic, all of them. And there's so many fucking toads. And like there'll be an area, I'll explore an area, I'll find 8 toads, and fucking 5 of them will make me laugh out loud with what they say when you save them. Like there was one where you save him, and like he's a beetle and he's crawling up a wall. So you hit the wall, he falls down. You knock him out of his beetle form. He's like, "Oh, thanks, Mario. I didn't much care for being a beetle, but I learned how to climb really good." And he fucking hops back up on the wall and just starts climbing on the wall.
And then if you talk to him again, he says, "Oh, I didn't realize climbing would take this much stamina. I'm glad it's not raining." Which is a just spot on Hyrule or
little Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild
joke. Yeah. And that's not even there's a few times where they kind of call back and make fun of their own games, but also even real world stuff.
Miyamoto is probably not. I bet he doesn't know.
No.
Probably not. No. What was Oh, there was a real deep one. There was one that that got a little too real, where it was with Olivia, who's
More
also
like COVID-18, am I right? Fuck.
Just turn the game off.
But yeah, that'd be it. That's done. But there was one with Olivia's the little origami. She's the sister to the brother who's trying to take over.
She's your Navi.
Yeah, she's like your Navi.
Your hey, listen.
Yeah,
You're what, Goombette? What's the lady Goomba you meet in the very beginning of the first game?
But she
even
doesn't
that, though.
do anything.
Not even
Like,
that, though.
She's like your guide. She's not
she's
like
not a
a
companion.
combat camp companion. No.
Yeah, she's Navi is the best way to put it. But she's really good too. She's got a good character. But there was one point where the first boss that you fight, I'm just gonna say what he is, but he's like a pencil crayon case. So when you're climbing
Whoa, are we talking hard case, soft case? What are we talking?
there's a
about?
hard case, hard pencil crayon case. Yeah. So
Bubbles on the top, different color shell, top
Didn't-
shell, bottom shell.
No, like
No, it's
more
just
like the skinny metal one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a very fancy
okay,
one. Like
I
this is
gotcha.
a professional artist
with
pencil
you.
crayon case. So as you're climbing this tower to get to him, he's created a bunch of art within the tower, and it all looks really good. Like it's actually really cool how they made the art in the game, like plastered on the walls and stuff, look like actual pencil crayon, professionally done pieces. But after you beat him, one of the lines that Olivia has is, "Oh man, I'm really glad we took that bad guy down, but I really liked his art. Oh man, this is a conundrum." Because it's like it's fucking a piece of shit. But
there was something in that game about like I think a Toad says it or something where it's like the art's really good. I don't know about the artist, but I'm able to separate that
yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
there was two of them because she did one and a Toad said one too.
This game was clearly written before this Me Too movement was
well,
ripping through gaming.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, that was a little too real.
Or maybe
there.
it wasn't. Maybe there's like, no, you know what? We at Nintendo have some fucking things to say.
They're anti-Me Too over there at Nintendo.
Yeah. But no, it's it's been really good. I can't. What was the point I was gonna make? So, anyways, yeah, but that's
This
what I
game
mean.
sucks, is
but,
what we're trying
Yeah,
to
it's
say.
terrible.
But that's
just
what I
read
mean,
the,
though,
read
right?
the quotes on Wikipedia. Save your money.
Like that part of it, I'm like, this is so fucking good. But then when it kind of comes to the actual progression of it, when we talked about it earlier, when you're saying that you kind of just find the hearts on your way, I hate that because it feels like I'm going through the motions of the game. And I don't like games that make me feel like I'm going through the motions. I know there's a lot of people that, they just want to play it for all that humor. And honestly, the writing in that game kind of drives the game itself, where it's like, yeah, you can just kind of go through this game and enjoy it for the story and for the humor and having those laughs. But I don't want that out of my Paper Mario game. I want to feel like I'm earning the upgrades I'm getting. I want to feel like, in Thousand Year Door in the first Paper Mario, when you level up and you get to choose if you're going to add to your FP, HP, or badge points, and you have to determine your own stats.
It was a big deal.
Like
you had to think about it like, well, if I had 3 more badge points, I had a bunch more damage or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that was
what
a big,
do I
big
need
decision.
to deal with this boss? What am I getting hung up on?
Like that stuff was, I really like that because then I feel like I'm earning it, right?
Yeah.
Even if it all kind of balances itself out in the end to an extent, I'm still earning that, right? Where this game doesn't really give you that satisfaction. As long as you have a piss ton of coins, you're going to be fine.
And it sounds like
You always
everybody
have a piss ton of
always
coins,
has
yeah.
infinite coins.
Yeah.
And coins you can use, like coins equal time. Like whenever you need more time for a puzzle, you just buy more time. And you can, like, I've spent like 5 minutes on a puzzle before.
Yeah.
Just feeding coins in and watching my coin counter go down and be like, I'll get those back in 5 minutes.
It's not going to take long whatsoever. So like that part I don't really like about it. The one thing that this game did right that made up for Sticker Star, well, nothing can make up for Sticker Star, but that made up for Color Splash a little bit, was the puzzle aspect of the battles.
Color Splash? Is there a Paper Mario Color Splash?
Yeah, that was Wii U one. Which actually, that
there's 6?
Hang on. I feel like I just heard about a Paper Mario game I literally did not know existed. Hang on. Paper Mario is one. Thousand Year Door.
Yep.
Super Paper Mario. What's next?
Sticker Star.
Sticker Star.
And then Color Splash.
Color Splash.
We thought there was 5 last week.
Fuck,
Oh, really?
I did think there was 5.
Well, that's a good thing you brought the.
I don't think I've
Resident
ever
Paper.
in my life heard of Color Splash.
Well, the Wii U game. I think it was the last first-party title on the Wii U from Nintendo.
That might explain it.
Yeah, and it was, but it also
My Wii U was a coaster at that point.
Color Splash also kind of adopted a little bit of the same formula from Sticker Star. Sticker Star ran in the old school Mario World fashion where you like ran to a level, you ran through the level, then you went back to the world map, and then you went to the next one, which is the biggest thing that pissed a lot of people off because it's fucking, I'm supposed to explore. It's Paper Mario. I'm supposed to run around and do, fuck off. So Color Splash corrected that, but they still kind of did the thing where you find boots on the wall, and then you put the boots in your inventory, and then that lets you use a boot attack in battle. Like, it was the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah.
So it made the battles completely pointless. Whereas this one now, at least when you go into the battles, you have the challenge of the puzzle. You know, they get pretty easy after you kind of figure it out to an extent. But it feels a little more satisfying, especially if you get more of a difficult, more of a, you know, monumental battle throughout the level, and you actually figure out the puzzle, and you're like, okay, fucking right, yeah, I fucking got that. You feel pretty good about it.
2016 Color Splash came out, like
I still don't believe it.
semi recently, apparently. Yeah, I didn't want to be rude because I was trying to like. I was gonna wait for Andrew to keep talking and be like, it's a real game. Like, Brad, I can log on. No, it's a real. It exists.
Stop making this up.
2016.
I would make that up,
dude.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it did not do very well. So that's one thing that this game corrects well, is that even though you're not getting those level ups from battles, you still feel like you're kind of doing something, which is good.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I would have liked if they would have done this formula, but still had the RPG format where you're still leveling up your actual character in those battles, but you're doing the circle thing. I think that'd be really cool.
Somebody at Nintendo hates that RPG.
Well,
maybe Miyamoto fucking hates that RPG system or something.
Whoever's in charge, or whoever one of the lead,
Fuck you.
whoever one of the lead directors on it
Reggie,
is.
you piece of...
No, he's a good man. He wants the old Paper Mario.
He'll also find out and kill us if we say that.
Yeah, that's why I stopped.
But whoever one of the lead designers is on that game, they said that they're actively trying not to do that same formula. Like, and Nintendo's always been about that. I mean, it's no secret that they're always trying to change up what they do with their games. He said
Smash Brothers is the only thing that has remained like semi-pure throughout.
Yeah,
Even Mario
DLC.
Kart got crazy fucked for a while, or two riders, and like Mario Kart went crazy for a few years.
But then Mario Kart came back.
They
and
brought it back
I
around.
am still waiting for Paper Mario to come back.
Yeah.
we gotta stop buying these new ones.
But they're so set on. Well, nobody bought the last couple though, so a lot of people are going to buy this one, and deservedly. It's worth playing.
This is actually a very good game.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's just
not
not
that
my
classic
Paper
RPG.
Mario game. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
ever played Mario All Stars or RPG All Stars? What's the Super
Mario
Nintendo
RPG?
Super Mario RPG?
Yeah.
I never finished it.
The Stars is said Legend of the Six Stars or Secret of the
Yeah.
Seven Stars.
Yeah,
or-
okay.
But that's kind of what
something like
started
that.
it. Yeah, I tried playing it. I never really got into
That
it.
might be if you're really jonesing for some kind of that traditional RPG style.
Well, you know, the games
holds
I
up
like.
better than you might think.
The games I like, and I think it was Brando and I when we were talking about this, that you've played a bunch of them. Those fucking Mario and Luigi
Gear.
games on, well, that's great too. But I really like those Mario and Luigi games on Game Boy and DS. Like those ones. You played some of those, haven't you?
Like Inside Story.
Yeah, I thought you played Inside
and-
Story, like Bowser's Inside. Oh, you haven't played those?
I've never played a Mario and
Oh.
like capital like the proper noun Mario and Luigi. I don't think I've ever played a Mario and
Those
Luigi game.
games are fucking awesome. They're really good games. Yeah, like Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. Like you have like I remember the boss in that game. Like I was like, and I was scared of everything as a kid.
Probably Bowser.
But I remember
Right?
it wasn't Bowser.
What?
It
He was
wasn't.
probably wearing a wig.
It wasn't Bowser. Like it
Dry
was
Bowser.
It was. It almost felt like those games didn't exist in the same
Wet
world.
Bowser.
No, it wasn't Dry
Yeah,
Bowser.
no, they didn't, because they had like characters from. They had original characters in Super Mario RPG.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I always thought
too,
from
yeah.
other games because they're like they have that claymation. But Super Mario RPG is fucking dope. It's like claymation. The art direction is incredible on it. Man, I should play some Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, it looked good for the system it was on.
Yeah,
Couldn't beat
yeah.
it as a kid.
Yeah.
Neither could I. It was very
So,
very hard.
Do I have anything else to say about Paper Mario?
Talk about the water.
Yeah, the water's
how's
really
the
good.
water, bro?
The other thing that bothered me about that game too is Paper Mario. A huge part of it was the partners. Like you're always jacked
Yeah.
about the partners, right?
Companions, yeah, totally.
Yeah, like it was always super cool, and especially too like 1,000 Year Door was neat because you even had like an enemy become your partner at one point. It's like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, spoilers.
But this game, it feels like they threw them in there just for the nostalgia of it, but they don't feel like they really do anything.
Like we always had these, and
They're,
we know
like,
that if we
I'm-
don't have companions, people will be mad. So here you go.
I'm rolling with a guy right now and have been for some time.
Bobby.
It's Bobby.
Yeah.
And all he does, he's a great guy.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Great character.
Right,
Good man,
writing,
Bobby.
writing wise,
Yeah, yeah.
they're awesome.
I don't want to shit on Bobby because
Yeah.
Bobby seems like good shit. But all he does is like every now and then his turn is just like run at the nearest enemy and do 20 damage.
Attaboy, Bobby. Hey, yeah.
way to step in there, kid.
Everybody's clapping him on the back.
But then sometimes he's sleeping, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing to affect that.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think you do affect that. I think it's just a very random thing. It feels like that those companions don't need to be in the battles.
No.
Story-wise, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
Like I love rolling with Bobby, but
Yeah.
you're right. It doesn't like the arbitrary nature and randomness of him being like, I'm just gonna go do 20 HP that you probably don't need me to do because you've probably cleared this whole fight in one turn. And if you didn't, you're probably going to get attacked anyway. So.
And that's the biggest thing is that the structure of those battles don't fit the move that they do because you're attacking 4 guys at once usually, or if you fuck up the puzzle like I do often, 3. So he just goes and tackles one dude. It's like,
yeah, it's all about clearing lines.
It's all
about doing that puzzle and setting up and clearing up lines of dudes.
Like I don't think I've ever in my life left one guy alive on the board and
Final
then Bobby has dealt with it. It's always like, well, there's 15 of them. Thanks for taking care of one.
You're going to be 1 hit point away from death. Final boss. The true Dry Bowser
just
returns.
steps up.
You're like, well, I guess I need to redo this whole 5-hour thing, and then Bobby just gets in there.
Yeah, see, so that's weird, but yeah. Otherwise, though, like I'm gonna keep playing it, and genuinely, I am enjoying it. Like I'm fucking excited to play that game. And just the last thing too.
It's a lot of passion. Also, watch the video of today's podcast because there's a lot of passion down here in the studio.
Andy is our Nintendo editor. So.
Yeah, I do love
hands down.
I love Nintendo games. That's my bread and butter. Shut the fuck up. I have something to say. So I'm learning. But when they like cockball shit.
Fuck.
Brando was saying like when it comes to bosses, he despite those boss levels being really cool, you never feel like you're going to die because they like litter hearts and stuff on it.
True.
So he'll just like he's just like I'll just take a turn, line up all the hearts, even if I run into a blank space and don't actually attack and just take damage. Like I've healed myself fully.
You can just just be like he's gonna hit me. I'm not gonna hit him. This whole turn is just healing and which I guess maybe that's the most RPG part of this game.
Strategy.
But still though, it's like but building off of that, like how they kind of just like hand it to you. There's that. The toad part, at least you're paying for, but like you can pay the toads to, I love the toads in this game. They when they first tell you that they're going to be in the audience and they're like, yeah, Mario, the more of us you save, we're going to help you out and we're going to get you through these battles.
I remember that. But 3 items sometimes.
Yeah, but then they're like, but you gotta give us a little coin though, like you gotta pay up for this. So you have to pay the toads to jump out of the stands, and then they do
like 2 damage. And I'm like, what are you throwing at them? The coin I just gave you? Like
yeah. Well, but the nice thing, they heal you, which is dope, and then they'll sometimes arrange the stage.
I've never been hit, so I didn't notice.
Oh, okay. Well, see, you're better at the puzzles than I am, because there have been times where I'm like, I can't figure out this puzzle, and then I'll get the toads in there, they'll heal my ass, and then they'll do like one move for you, and then you're like, oh, okay, fuck yeah, I gotta do this, we're done. We figured it out.
Fuck, I didn't know they did that either.
Yeah, they'll make like the first move and it will basically reveal the whole puzzle. Like
maybe I'm not paying them enough.
Yeah, well, I never.
Oh, like they'll put in the first step of the solution.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because it's usually a multi-spin puzzle.
Yeah.
So I guess they'll spin one ring or move them.
When you said they do a move, I'm like I just think like they come in
like a moonwalk.
Like a tombstone on whoever you're fighting or something.
Yeah, no, they move the ring and then they'll set up that first move. So if you have 3 moves, they'll do one for you.
Okay, well, I retract my comment about the 2 damage because apparently that's only one of the 3 things that's going on there.
Yeah, I never. It depends on how much you pay them because you choose how much you pay them, and then the more you pay them, the more that come out, and the more they do. I never don't.
Can you just call the entire fucking audience? You'd be like, "Yo, I got 10,000 toads. Fucking let's do this."
It is sweet because there's like bleachers around the outside of the fighting area, and they're totally empty at the beginning of the game, and then as you find the toads, they're actually.
To fill it up.
They fill it up. So now all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I got like a little small arena people watching me now.
If I made this game, they're like crowd mechanic. They hold signs.
They'll chirp.
They chirp. Yeah. It's actually really funny. Like there'll be, what's the one I texted you today where I was just like,
block.
Oh, block. Just like block you like idiot or something. Like not idiot, but they say something like that. Shit, I want to remember what it was now.
Check your
block you fool. Like those shit.
You fool.
Yeah. Or like there was I was fighting this fire monster at one point and one of them was just like, oh, it's about time it's about time you turned up the heat and like shit like that.
Yeah,
man,
I get distracted looking in there.
Do you think there's room in video games for someone who goes around and just does, not a designer or a programmer, does not a code, but just designs, not even Toad Writer, just designs crowds? Ooh, it's like, no, you got a live event with a crowd, like the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order thing.
Live sports are looking for you right now.
Yeah,
talk to me. I got some ideas.
Get in there with some chirps.
Chance, people love chance.
Double
if those toads all went Mario, we'd be
challenge.
talking about it on the Game of the Year bucket.
The thing is as cool as that would be, those toads are not organized enough to actually get some sort of a chant going together. So
You're gonna hire me. That's why you need Nintendo.
yeah,
Call me.
You'll be on there orchestrating them.
You should have the little colored panels so they can
training
make
the
your
toads.
face in the colored panels.
Doubling back to my other point there, so like when it comes to the hearts, they make it too easy to get health, and the one big one for me was this is a kind of spoiler but not really, but there's one part in the game where what are they? There's this enemy that's like shy guys. Shy guys are dropping down. You're locked in this room. They have flaming buckets of oil above their head, and
I haven't seen these maniacs.
they're dropping it on, like when they see you, they drop it on the ground in a line. What you have to do is hit them with your hammer, and then they drop it on their heads and burn. But you go through
Last
that.
of Us 2.
It's just all paper.
Monk in Tiananmen Square.
But once you go through that little, like, it's like a big deal, right? They stop you, you fight these guys. Once you finish it, once you beat them all, they just fucking pluck a heart in the middle of the stage for you.
Yeah.
You fucking heal up.
When was the last time you died in a Mario game? Like, think of Mario 64. Your health is low. Go underwater and surface, and we're gonna just fill it to full for you.
And I get
You're
that.
saying Mario games are for babies?
yes,
And I get that.
but it's fine to enjoy them as adults.
This is too much though. Like, it's too much in this game. I have 25 mushrooms. At the end of this altercation, I'm going to be just fine, game. You don't need to
And
fucking drop a heart in
literally
there for me.
the Final
500,000
Fantasy-
coins. I'm just gonna go buy the fucking shop after this.
Yeah, like I
It's
don't
the
worry
Final
about it.
Fantasy VII problem that I can already see happening, where it's like I'm going to finish this game and have 100 mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! If I had a nickel, for every potion at the end of Final Fantasy VII, wouldn't need to do this show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just this one though.
We
We have to probably hop
you're
back
not
to
wrong.
it next week.
Specifically, episode 326.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's all I have to share on Paper Mario. It's all that aside, it's still a fun game. If you have a Switch, buy
Heck of
Paper
a-
Mario. Yeah.
Heck of a game.
Yeah, get it. It's a good game.
What else you play? Anything else?
Yeah,
Last thing here for a break?
I come in here and
Don't be sorry at
fucking
all,
usually I
Andrew.
don't have like an abundance of stuff, but
what?
I've been, and I told Brando this, and like I fucking have started diving into more single player games. I play so much multiplayer. That's what I do. I sit down and fucking play COD or whatever.
We need a multiplayer editor. That's fine. Multiplayer, anime, and Paper Mario. It's one hat. You'll have to wear all three, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's
but-
fine.
Me and Matt Eads are splitting single player story driven games.
That's right.
And that's
Racing.
all we do.
Yeah. Oliver and Kevin have fighting games.
Yeah, but no, I want to because I really do like single player games, and I've been a little bit lazy this past year, and I don't know. You just sometimes you get into a funk, and you just want to have
You don't
those.
have to. I don't know who you think you have to explain yourself to, but
Andy-
this world's
Andy-
been so fucked.
Not playing video games is the least lazy thing you can
But
do.
I want to throw this out there and see if you guys can kind of relate in a way.
Okay.
Sometimes, when it even comes to video games, and anything in life, if you're just kind of in a funk or whatever with things that are going on, you kind of want to go back to those ones that you're familiar with, and you don't want to dive into something new. And that's been the problem I've been having for like the past year.
I have re-upped my World of Warcraft subscription in these trying times, and oh man, it is just a warm blanket that I can just like wrap around my face so tight that I pass out. Like it is, I don't even need to think or do anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
My biggest problem, and you know this about me, is that I can usually only play a couple hours of a game that I've already played before I get into my own head about there's something I haven't seen. What am I doing? There's something I haven't seen in a different game somewhere else.
I could be doing something better with my time.
Right. Like I would love to experience something new, but I still spend so much of my time thinking about Mass Effect.
Him and Hong, you're like, well, there's a remaster coming maybe, so I shouldn't start playing it immediately. But
Yeah.
And then you start thinking, I was like, if I played it like right now, I'd probably want to play it again when the
and the
remaster
remaster can
comes
be different, so like, maybe.
That's when I'll tackle it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
this is a time for comfort gaming. You are
Yes.
but
and TV.
You
It's
deserve
the
it.
exact same with TV. Sometimes I'll look at like some of the hour-long dramas that I have on my watch list, and I'm like, I should really get into this. It's like,
It sounds interesting, but exhausting in a way.
Yeah.
What if I just watched The Simpsons?
yeah, it's fucking something
Here
I've
we
seen
go.
100 times. It's
Yeah.
Get in the office again.
So anyways, I'm at the point now where the part where you said I could be seeing something different, that part has grabbed me. It's been too long. I've been fucking around too much. It's time to get into it. So I've been playing a lot more single player, so hopefully I bring more stuff to the table every week.
Yes.
But I finally played Jedi Fallen Order.
What do you think of
So-
Cal
Snaps.
lightsaber?
Huh?
What do you think of Cal lightsaber?
It's cool.
He's great. Best Jedi? Most handsome Jedi?
No, he's not the most handsome.
Or the best.
Yeah, he's also not the best.
I just felt like I had to
Fucking
drive
ginger
my Cal
bias.
lightsaber joke home because he whiffed on it, so I kept going with it, to be totally honest.
I don't know if he knows the Cal lightsaber,
I don't think so.
joke.
I know that it's been talked to a lot about on this podcast, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Jedi
Not
Fallen Order.
maybe as much as you might think, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Also, we like to hear new opinions,
Okay,
Totally.
cool.
unless I disagree with them.
Little braggart moment. Beat it on Jedi Master. Really
Is that
proud
the
of myself.
hardest difficulty?
No, Jedi.
There's a Grandmaster.
Jedi Grandmaster is the hardest difficulty, which not a game that you want to even bother playing on that level because it's
You're
not
fucking
tight
here.
enough.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You should. Did you hear me
should-
say that, or did you also think that independently?
No, I thought that independently. I never heard that
Oh,
from
you
because
should play Sekiro and
that's-
Dark
so-
Souls
so-
and Bloodborne.
you're
You are
having-
me.
Yeah, so
You guys are having a conversation me and Andy had.
yeah, Brando already said that. He's like, you know what? I used to play some Sekiro.
Especially
yeah.
after you'll play Ghost and be like, yeah, this combat's fine. I sort of dig this. And then you'll play Sekiro and be like, whoa, fucking,
I'm not playing Ghost. I'm not gonna skip that one. I'm going right to Sekiro.
Good call.
fuck yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, you know what? That is a game that you're going. I'm gonna try to word this as delicately as possible.
Yeah,
That is a
you-
game that you're going through for the story.
Yes. It's very good. It's a very good Star Wars game. It's not a great third-person tight combat game. When
You
it
didn't
comes
let
down
me get
to
to
it.
my point.
Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Story was okay.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Hold on. Whoa.
You can show
okay.
yourself up.
Yeah. Wow.
It's I
Best new character of the year, BB-8 might have something.
As a
And-
man who has some issues with that game.
BD-9 or whatever. What's the
Okay,
droid?
one? I think it's one.
BD-1?
BD1's great.
Is that his
BD1's
name?
fantastic.
BD1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or BB1 or something. Yeah, BB1 or BD1 or something.
I think
yeah.
it's BD.
I think it's,
He's good
buddy,
shit.
BD.
Yeah.
He's good shit though.
Buddy one.
So, and here was my thing. Look, I'm not the type of person who plays a video game for the story only. If I do, it's got to be fucking out of this world. Like when I play Last of Us 2, I know going into that, it's going to be for the story.
Star Wars, literally out of this world.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, that the story for this game was
Far, far away. Also, just to sort of interrupt, Last of Us plays incredibly. I do not want people to. I think Last of Us is maybe one of the best playing games this generation.
Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
The first one was very average.
Yes,
so
I agree
that's
with that.
why
The first
going
one
into
is-
Last of Us 2, I'm kind of assuming
Fair
it's along
enough.
the same lines.
Totally fair enough.
I'll see how it is, and then
with
I
you.
might change my mind. But like, I don't want to just play a game like Warren. Like he played Fallen Order, he played it on the easiest level. He loved just like hacking through
We're so
everybody. It was
similar.
great.
I also do not just want to go through the motions. We
But they're
common ground that we're finding.
yeah. The only one we didn't find that on was Fire Emblem. But we bonded, and then I took it away.
I like pretty anime ladies. It's all good.
I fucking love Fire Emblem, but I also think I found that game harder than you did.
And I will say that I don't necessarily think, like, you are not necessarily looking for super hard experiences. You are just looking for super good experiences.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to sum
I
it
couldn't
up.
find Fire
way-
Emblem.
in
I
a
could
way-
not. I was
yeah.
not looking for anything super. I was just looking for like challenging and could not find it.
Whereas I think you will go past a good experience to find a hard experience for better and worse sometimes.
Yeah, you'll
maybe
really push
sometimes.
it.
Maybe sometimes.
So if I was watching the Fallen Order story in a movie or a show, I would have probably really enjoyed it. But the fact that I had the gameplay attached to it, I was just so distracted by the fact that I felt like that could have been tighter. It could have been more enjoyable. The challenge was there, but we've talked about it before, not on the podcast. But I found that the combat and stuff, I'm not the greatest player of all time. But there's so many situations where I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I had that. Why did he do that there? Or why did that hit me? Like, I did exactly as you told me how to handle that. And I got fucked.
It felt like it was the game's fault. It felt like you, the player, you're like, man, I'm so sure that I nailed that. This feels like the game fucked me on this one.
Yeah. And, like, I recognized the moments when I was doing bad. One of the biggest ones, that final boss, when she did that smash in the
You
ground.
finished Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
on Grandmaster.
No, not Grandmaster.
Or on
Jedi
the
Master.
third. I had to turn it down for that final
Yeah,
boss.
no, I
she
did.
fucked my day up in a way that I was like, this is, god damn it.
So there was a point a few
Spoilers.
hours before the final bosses, or not bosses, but before the final boss, and I think it was at that first Inquisitor fight with that really like beefy, ugly one.
Yeah.
I think
She's my favorite.
but I think that's when I kind of started
The
to
Abbey of Inquisitors.
yeah, I started to. You can't. Now, like, what do I do here? Do I wait till he stops laughing?
No.
That's
Keep
right.
going. Keep going. None of this laughter is picking up on Mike. Watch the bot if you want to see me
Okay.
laugh at my own joke really hard.
So when I hit that Inquisitor and I finished that fight, it's when I kind of got it. So even for that final boss battle, though it was hard, I got it though. Like
Yeah,
I got
it
it.
clicked in a way.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I know what happened there. I know what I did wrong. I know where the game was fucking dumb as shit, and I got to be careful of that next time.
Yeah.
So I had to fight her a few times, but I eventually got it. It wasn't the most frustrating part for me. The monsters were actually some of the most frustrating parts for me in that game.
The bigger,
on that level.
bigger than a humanoid enemy, big boss.
Yeah,
monster
and not
type.
even like just the standard big ones, like those special monsters. I remember that fucking albino spider fucking almost sent me off the balcony of my apartment.
Spider.
Yeah, there's like 4 like legendary.
Yeah,
monsters
Yeah, I
in
remember
that game.
Ogopogo or whatever. Not Ogopogo, whatever the tongue one in the very beginning is.
Yeah.
They're
That they
like
patched.
they're just like bigger, more involved versions of.
Have a health bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just essentially the same battle, except they just do more damage and they're a little bit bigger. But that albino spider, yeah, like that wanted to almost make me turn it down because I was like, I can't beat this thing. But then I finally, and you know what? The reason I beat him is because I realized that the mechanic and the battles in the game were kind of stupid and loose, and I just started rolling through him. I was like, the spider's diving at me with its claws, and I'm just rolling through him now to dodge this move that I couldn't dodge by going sideways.
It's Bloodborne.
Yeah, like it was just
Now
stupid.
you're playing Bloodborne.
Yeah, and
I'm
that's what you said.
really excited for you to play Sekiro because all these things all the exact things that sound like you didn't like about Jedi Fallen Order, are all the exact things I didn't like about Jedi Fallen Order. Was like, and part of it was because like, man, Sekiro just came out and kind of did this all way better.
Yeah, like it was a lot tighter, right?
It's a lot tighter. It is like,
And that's
you could
what I
shave
want,
with
right?
Sekiro. It's so fucking sharp.
Yeah, and
It
like
is maybe the tightest video game.
I'd say.
good. I like them tight. So anyways, back to the final boss thing where I was going to say that the hardest thing I had problems with was that ground smash where she would hit the ground and then send those waves.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part for me
You had
because
to turn around and sprint the other way.
Well, you
literally hold sprint and like.
no, you just jump over it.
That's probably way easier. That's probably way easier. Who jumps? So that for me, there's a jump mechanic in Ghost. There's one where it's like you have to jump with a sprint deck. There's that same thing in Sekiro. We have to like,
that's so good.
About halfway through the game, it's like, oh no, now you need to add the A button into your combos. Like you're not really used to now. A is a parry. Like jump is a parry mechanic away. I'm like, I can't.
You jump a
I can't
sweep,
do that.
right? You jump a
Yep.
sweep and you step on a
and you
on a thrust.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I cannot add. Same with Ghost. I cannot add a jump into my repertoire.
Well, and that's what it made it tough.
So bad.
And that's what makes it tough, but I was okay with that because I was like, okay, this is an added layer that is confusing me, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is making it harder good because the problem I would do is, as soon as whenever the enemy turns red in Jedi Fallen Order, it means they're going to do an undodgeable attack. An unparryable attack.
Gotta dodge.
So you got to dodge. And that
fucking
every
there.
single time it'd be my first instinct. As soon as she would go to do that, dodge. But she spins so fast, it almost looks like a slashing motion. But then she slams the ground, and you're in the middle of a dodge. You're not going to be able to jump because you're dodging, and that was the only headache for me.
That's
on
also
that
in
final boss.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
Sekiro-
But again, in Sekiro, the thing with the FromSoft games is every time you die, it is clearly your fault. Like, it is 10,000 different ways your own fault.
I mean-
the game throws its hands up and it's like, look, we taught you how to do this, you dumbass.
There's sometimes some camera angle stuff, and
Yeah,
there's
you're right. You're right. If you ever touch a wall, God help you. Like, God fucking help you.
If you're locked on, you get too close to a big enemy. God help you.
That's yeah, you learn not to lock on to the big boys.
Yeah, but more, and Sekiro does it better. But Sekiro is a lot of that. Like, you have a fucking hair of time to decide if they're doing that kind of half spin that ends up being a spear at you, or that kind of half spin that ends up being an overhead slash at you, and you have to handle both of them differently. And you're like just palm sweating, staring at the screen, being like,
You start looking.
"Oh, I saw a little bit of yellow in their cape. That means they're doing this one."
Totally. You start looking for environmental tells in a way of like, oh, he raises that left
Yeah.
foot ever so slightly before the slash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I'm on board for that stuff. That stuff's cool.
Fuck yeah.
Whereas Jedi, and that's the other disappointing part is it's like, fuck, this combat could be so cool if it was
Like it's
just a lot
right
tighter.
there, right? It's so close in a way that
And there would be moments where I would have fights, and especially when guys are shooting at you too, and you're fucking fighting a guy, and then you land it
Feels so
nice.
good.
You land it properly where you
Yeah.
fucking fire the bullets back at the other guys, and then you're back in the
behind
battle.
you without looking, and this guy shoots himself in the head because
Yeah.
he bounced it off.
Yeah, or like, force pushing rockets back into guys and
fuck
stuff.
yeah.
Like that stuff is all really cool. Or like, knocking a bunch of enemies back, dealing with the laser guys, and pulling guys at you and then just fucking up their day. Like,
And there's a little bit of give and take with that because, like, Sekiro, you just don't ever get those powers. You get
Yeah.
kind of items to use that can give you, like, a split-second edge when you use them right.
You're never
But Sekiro doesn't ever want you
powerful.
to feel powerful. Yeah, it
Yeah.
always makes you feel like if you play perfectly, then you just barely survive.
But Jedi was still there though, where they could have had that, that level of difficulty that still meant you had to build up a certain level of skill to feel powerful when using those moves, but it was just too sloppy to execute it properly.
Right there with you.
You can still have those force
1000%.
powers. Yeah, you can still have those force powers. And when they had even the I can't remember what they're called now, but whatever the black stormtroopers were that were specifically trained for
Purge troopers.
specifically trained for taking on Jedi, fighting those guys, like you can't force pull them at you and things like that, right? So, you have these powers that otherwise would make you feel unstoppable, but you're still encountering characters that can counter it because they've learned, which is not unbelievable because in the Star Wars universe, they do figure out how to counter Jedi. There's bounty hunters that can take on Jedi because they just understand they have the tools to deal
Look
with
at
them,
those
right?
electric things they can use. Those can block lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly,
No,
right?
it's not a big deal.
But it's still like if you would get good, if you would learn those counters, if you knew how to play that character and the game was tight, you feel like a fucking rock star playing that. When you when you throw your head at a battle 5 times in a row because you can't beat it, and that 5th time you fucking get it and you just rock the guy, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from that game, and I wasn't getting it. Because even after I killed that albino fucking spider, I didn't feel good. Especially when Brando texted me and said you didn't have to kill that spider.
Trying to think where in your. So I have a very radical treatment that I think we can help you these issues. We show a lot of positive response called the FromSoft treatment. I'm trying to think where in.
Don't let Maddie's convince you that
wherein
all
we
from
should-
FromSoft games are good.
Listen, I think you should probably start Dark Souls 3. You should skip 1 and 2. They're a little old. You should probably start at 3 because it is the slowest.
The problem with Dark Souls is that world doesn't attract me.
No.
Whereas like Fallen Order attracted me.
Boring.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
to. I mean, if you jump into any of these games, you'll have to be in a kind of like, ooh, I don't know anything about this world.
Yeah, see, I have to get, if I'm going to
It'll
play
draw you in, though. I really think the Dark Souls one, much like Destiny, if you want to learn that story, you have to do your own research and like, I'm going to read the things on the internet. But Bloodborne and Sekiro are very much like, oh, look at this weird, crazy fantasy samurai dumb world. I'm into this.
I was very much on like the side of the fence that you have to be interested in what's going on to will yourself through those hard fights. And I would like with Bloodborne specifically, I'm like
Shaking my head, no,
yeah.
here in the studio.
With Bloodborne specifically, I was like, this boss is tough.
Yeah.
I haven't tried him nearly as much as I lost to Sekiro bosses before I beat them. But boy, do I not care what's on the other side of this boss.
Yeah, and I think that's my biggest thing too, is I still need to care about what's happening next, which is the reason like I'll play through Jedi, right?
It's the challenge, It's the mountain where you get over that first obstacle and you're like, well, that was a hurdle, but I got over it. And the second one's a little bit easier, and you're like, okay, I'm starting to get this. And by the end of it, you kind of feel like
I'll tell you what's the difference between a good From Software game and a bad.
it's no such thing.
Yeah, there is.
King's feel for the PS1 is pretty bad.
It's the good ones, Sekiro. You die, and when you respawn, you have the ability to have all the health that you had the last time you fought the boss. In Bloodborne, if you die and use up all your basically your stims, you have to go farm more.
Oh,
Bloodborne is the only one.
That's
Bloodborne is literally the only ever FromSoft game. That might not be true. Of the Souls
Sure,
and the ones that we're
that's
talking
fair.
about. But
Those are the
Bloodborne is
two
the
I got
only
into.
one that you have to every other time you have X number of healing potions. Every time you die or reset, you just boop get them back.
Yeah.
But it's a trade-off, right? Because you have 5 healing potions. That's it. You have 5 to beat this boss. That's it. That's all you'll ever get. 5 heals. In Bloodborne, the reason it is like that is you have 20 healing potions as your cap, but you can regain, right? You can gain some. The farming, you can net up healing potions on your way to do whatever. And that can get you through, that can get you over humps in a way where you can have 20 You can have 30 healing potions.
Sure,
If you get 10 along the way, and that gets you over the thing.
If you get to the boss where you're like, okay, I kind of need this much healing potions.
No, you're not wrong.
There
There are times where you have to do. It is very minimal, but there are times where you're like, I need more healing potions. I'm gonna have to go kill 20 enemies around here, or whatever.
To me, that is one of those like. I don't see the benefit. Why would you ever do this in your video game?
I don't think I'd like that.
At the same time, the game resets whenever you die. Every single enemy respawns.
Yeah, so
whenever
I gotta
you
go
die.
fucking farm the potions.
But
and
it does that in Fallen Order, right? Whenever you hit a thing,
But every time you die,
respawns.
you get all your stims back.
Yeah, I get all my stims back.
It's true, but the other side of it is that if you're when and if you get ahead of that power curve in Bloodborne, you have. It is possible to get more than 20 healing potions to go into a fight. You can get runes and things. They give you 24, 26.
Right. My problem is not with like what the maximum potions is. It's if you're like, I need this much to beat a boss.
Yeah.
I want to be
20,
like,
I
okay,
need the cap.
Yeah, I want to freeze. I want to freeze on this. All right. If I can't do it with 20, all I can do is get better. I have to get better.
You have to.
You have to get better.
That's what those games are.
But I don't want to spend time going back and getting my 20 again.
Sure.
Every
It
single time.
is it is the same as like I don't want to have to clear the not boss monsters before I fight a boss in Sekiro, right? I don't have to go around and I don't have to pull these 5 guys and fight them one-on-one and then fight the boss.
No, and
it is
not that didn't frustrate me,
It's
but
that exact thing. It is just in a different spot.
no, it's like, but it's not because you have to do both often in
Bloodborne. Bloodborne is much. They very obviously and intentionally. There is not that like in Bloodborne you can't pull 1 or 2 guys out in the way you do Sekiro, where like it's Jugo the drunkard or whatever that dude's name was, right? Where you got to pull like he's got like the 10 guys around him. You got to pull one and run way back and fight him. And
yeah,
you
can kill all those guys. You can fight them all at the same time. And every time you lose, you get to go back and be like, okay, I can do this, and I have everything I had before.
It's different. It's very different. As someone who spent thousands of hours in
but
this
it's
game,
just it's not fun.
It is night and day.
It's not fun when you're like, okay, I'm trying to learn this boss, and I'm trying to get better at this boss, but I'm just losing my healing potions, and I have to go get more every single time.
Sure, that's
because then you don't want to learn the boss.
That is your particular. I think Bloodborne is my favorite one. I love Bloodborne is like my favorite From game, and I think that everything that they have built, even the healing potion stuff of like, I had to go farm some more potions. It is part of exploring this world as well. Where like, I'm gonna I'll go this way, see what I can find. It is very much. It is built in with intent. It is that grind is not a thing of like. It is not a failing of the game in the sense that they didn't intend for this. Now you have to spend a bunch of time. It is very much built in a way that. There was stuff in that world. There's probably almost half that map that you probably didn't see if you just play through it. If you just go through it, boom, 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 boom. Like there's a lot of stuff that you are encouraged through the grind to explore in a way, if that makes sense. Of like, I need 20 healing potions. I'm not just going to go the same way. I want to try the right path. And like, it turns out there's fucking the Ludwig's holy sword is down this path.
Yeah.
And now I just win the game because I have the sword.
Sure.
It's different. It's different sword for different folks, right?
Yeah. We're not saying it's bad. It's just
Demon Soul. Well, Brando's saying it's bad.
Well,
Brando's saying it's objectively bad, and I'm arguing that
I'm not saying it's objectively bad.
Different.
I'm saying for me, I don't know why.
for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes it not objectively. I don't know why that was the decision that was made. That was a decision that was not made for me. It was made for some other people.
It's just different. Like I say, different grinds, right? Yep. Demon Souls, you didn't even have an Estus. You just had literal things you used, and they ran out, and that was the true grind. You're like, fuck.
And I want nothing to do with that.
No, that's too much for me. Bloodborne, it's not. Don't get caught up on. Don't let the quote grind of Bloodborne be the thing that turns you off.
Right.
Because they're kind of.
I will just say,
grind.
as someone who tried to do it recently, I went in with a bunch of potions, fought a boss for the first time, used too many of my potions in hindsight, learning the boss, and then was like, I kind of don't want to go just grind that area for more potions again.
That's fair enough.
I would kind of.
That's fair enough. Like that never. I've played it through a bunch of times and never had that particular experience. But
Right.
I also didn't run into the thing of in Sekiro with like the clearing dudes out. It's just part of it for me. I'm like, yeah, I know how this goes.
Yeah, and I think the reason that I moved past that was because it was like, okay, every time I'm doing this with the same loadout, my odds are not getting worse of doing this the more I try. My odds are getting better. Whereas in Bloodborne, it was like, my odds are getting statistically worse as I try and learn this boss because I'm having less and less max health per time.
Kind of. Kind of, right? If you bring max healing potions, you're at max health. It's not Demon Souls where like
Right.
you're max. We can argue about this all day.
I know.
but
like if I had 20,
yes,
and then
do
I
not.
had 17.
My point is, do not let the threat of quote grinding healing potions turn you off Bloodborne, because anyone who's played Bloodborne, no one will be like, oh, I hate the part where I had to grind healing potions. That's just that was the hill that you got stuck on.
Yes.
But don't let that be the thing that turns you off.
Okay.
It's also not an interesting world.
Because there's it's a super interesting world. I think that is fucking crazy. It is my favorite of those worlds.
I was just saying that's making me mad.
It is the easiest.
I haven't played hardly any of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
it is the easiest to get at a glance of like, I kind of actually understand the loose story they're telling here. You don't need to go do a bunch of reading and bullshit. Start with Sekiro, work your way back.
Okay, we'll see how Sekiro goes.
It's hard to go back.
I might not like hard games. We'll find out after Sekiro.
Sekiro is very fast, and they get slower progressively. Bloodborne is a little bit slower. Dark Souls is way slower in the way that if you start with Sekiro, you can probably never ever play Dark Souls because it's like you're moving through the fucking treacle.
I also don't like I really like the philosophy. I'll try not to say I don't like stuff from Bloodborne, but I really like the.
I will murder you.
I know. It's like I can feel.
I like the frame
steam.
rate. There you go. That's the only thing you can say. Frame rate's bad.
Yeah, and I really like, and Dark Souls does this too, but I really like the bosses in Sekiro. I hate the big monsters.
Yeah.
I hate the big monsters with the big arm swing where it feels like you are trying to roll at the right time so that the arm just goes
Invincible
through you.
frames.
That thing you hated about the spider. Mm-hmm. Not in the same way. This Bloodborne is way more tight, but it is that like arms coming right at you, just roll into the arm.
Yeah,
and
you
if
gotta
you
kinda
have
go
the right
through
timing,
it.
it just won't hit you.
On the other side of
dumb.
that coin, I hate fighting dudes your own size because they
Yeah.
are so fucking fast.
Yes.
They are like
Yeah.
so fucking fast in a way that I don't think my
Sekiro
hands
is
move
very-
fast enough to do some of this.
Sekiro is very like timing.
Give me
like,
that ape
like,
any
this
day of
attack
the week.
means I need to do 3 perfect parries.
Yeah,
This
they're
one,
like, oh, this dude's as big as a skyscraper, and it's gonna be like, "Whoa," and I have like 10 seconds to be like, all right, here we go, 10, 9, and dodge.
but then they even put a very Dark Souls or Bloodborne inspired boss into Sekiro, and I'm like, this is the only boss that isn't fun.
Is it the monkey? Which one's the
No,
Bloodborne?
it's the fire
big
the fire
demon.
dude. Yeah,
I don't
Monkey's
know.
not bad.
Why is that? What makes that Bloodborne inspired? We should do a spoiler cast.
it's because it's super big, and that's what I felt.
It
I
is
felt like
very
I was
big.
I
It's
was
very
in
big.
it- I was-
Bloodborne is mostly human-sized enemies. The first 1, 2, 3 you fight are like big ones, but you're mostly fighting hunters like you in Bloodborne.
Yeah, I never
And they're
got,
very
I never
hard.
got past the first 3.
Demon
big ones.
Souls is the big, a lot of really big monsters.
But it feels like with those big enemies, a lot of the times it's like getting their feet.
Yep.
And know
Oh, yeah.
know what their feet are doing.
Stand in their crotch. If
You're
you
like-
can be
if-
right under them, you're all good.
If their feet like move like this, then it's like I just got to roll right now, and I don't know what's happening.
Yep.
I'm in the monster.
I know I
but
have
I can
this many
tell I'm
iframes, and I
dodging
know this
something.
move takes this long, so as long as I'm invincible and in this arm, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. This has been a
Yes.
long. We got to take a break here real fast. Andy,
I still have one last hot take about Jedi Fallen Order.
okay, hit us with it.
I thought all the characters were kind of boring.
Yeah. Not,
Anyways,
that's
let's
a
take a
good
break.
story.
My last on Fallen Order. What do you think of that ending? What do you think like the very end, after the quote final boss fight?
Not spoiling.
No spoilers. Do not say it because
I won't.
even though they showed it in the commercial, which is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, which I got told not to watch, which made sense.
What did you think of that?
I can't even tell you because I can't tell you without spoiling it.
Fair enough. That is fair.
I'll
enough.
tell you after the
Okay.
podcast.
Did you like it? Did you not like? Because other people, most people
I
probably
did
will.
like it, but there's a reason why I did. I'll tell you after. But I did. You know what? It was a good ending. That's all I'll say. It was a good ending. Like it was a good ending, and it was exciting.
The character, the character. You know who I'm talking about. The character shows up at the end, and you're like, oh, fucking real talk.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go into it a whole bunch
right.
because I'll spoil too much.
Let's go for a break. We'll come back to do some news. I didn't play any video games. Don't worry about me. We'll do some news on the other side of this. See you on the other side of this musical break.
You thought? I think
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like 5-2, and it was 4-1. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
We yeah, it was a good time. And I think too those last Coronas that we asked for, I think they exercised their duty of care and chose to not bring us those Coronas.
Coronas, Andrew.
Oh, that's a good call. Maybe that's what they did.
I think that they 100% didn't bring them to us because we had
Maybe
a
a
lot.
little bit too
Yeah,
much.
but like
We were not like I feel like normally
I've
when they
seen
knew
you,
that, yeah.
I literally cannot imagine Brandon at a point where we're like, sir, we have to stop serving you. Like you have your shit together enough that like
That night that we went out to after Paper Mario, or not
Mario
Party.
Mario
I bet
Party.
you they would.
I mean, I was like the
yeah.
first one lost on that adventure, so I don't remember any of that.
Yeah,
Was that
fun.
They probably would've
motherfucking
shut me
mustard?
down.
Yeah,
No, it was
yeah. We
motherfucking
were
mustard,
talking
man.
about that the other day.
Getting hot dogs in the parking lot of the strip joint.
Yeah,
Motherfucking mustard.
Then we were talking about how when we got back to Robbie's and You were moving construction shit. That was your thing.
Yes.
I was. What the fuck was I doing?
I remember Brando and Warren were fighting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were
'Cause
fighting.
one of them was throwing up, and one of them was taking a video and not happy about it.
Yeah, Warren was taking a video of me throwing up, and then I was like, "Fuck off!" and
Throwing
it escalated from
haymakers.
You
there.
tried like fighting him, and then I do remember that when you like came
But I
up
could
to
barely
me.
stand up.
Yeah, you like were hugging me later, and you drooled on my chest. It was just vomit.
I was probably sleeping.
Yeah, you're. But I can't. There was something I was like fucking around with that night, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, just the construction stuff was great because you put those fucking blockers on the
Pylons and
steps.
shit up on the.
You were just putting shit on the deck.
Man was drunk.
I was because then we had the night at the Howler where you were wearing the pylon as on your head.
Oh,
and just
yeah.
running out into traffic and shit.
Jesus
And
Christ.
yeah, and it was like on Jasper, I think. So it was like a super busy
man
road.
alive.
And I was like, Andy, we have to fucking go. And you were just being an asshole to anyone who tried to get you to go anywhere. You were just like, fuck you. You can fuck off.
We're just having a good time.
I think I was mad because I really wanted to meet a lady that night, and then I didn't, so I was mad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
Story of
any
the
day that
kid's
ends in
life.
Y,
Here
yeah.
we fucking go. Gentlemen, let's talk about some news.
All of a sudden, it's all our problem.
It is
I know.
late. Let me apologize for bringing that Game of the Year energy out. I don't know where that came from. We were talking about Bloodborne. I started
Andy brought
to
the
get a
Paper
little
Mario
excited.
passion.
Yeah.
The passion is transferable.
Yeah,
We all have our games, right?
Pardon me, I did not mean to bring that big Game of the Year energy.
Brandon
sorry.
is
We'll
dead.
save that.
I'm excited to actually bring some Game of the Year energy to the Game of the Year this year. So
Everyone's excited for their first time.
Terrified.
especially, I'm also sad too, like with the whole Fire Emblem thing, that there was not somebody to speak like that about that game last year. It hurt me. Like it hurt.
It probably saved the show.
Probably,
Honestly,
yeah.
Saved the show that there was no passionate counter argument to Fire Emblem.
Thank God.
Because I like kind of gave like a.
Like,
"Oh, I didn't finish it, but I mean, I thought it was better than you think it
I
is,"
hadn't
and then
even-
you're like, "It sucks," and I'm like, "All right,
I hadn't
that's-
even played it. That
Like nobody played it. That was the thing,
that's
right?
what we
Like,
were doing. The very respectful, like,
Yeah.
well, we'll respect the opinions of our peers, and
Right.
it's probably pretty good.
oh yeah, that's okay. This year though, oh fucking baby.
You know what is very good, Andrew? Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes, a tremendous video.
That's
game.
right. V has come too.
that one, a terrible story."
Yes,
Yeah,
the
it's not-
story's bad, but the
not bad at
gameplay is good though. That a game that I would go back as a comfort game and play again.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I think about that
play it
game a
quite
lot.
bit. I
Yeah.
played probably somewhere. It's on my Steam counter, like 150 hours almost of Metal Gear 5,
I
and
would-
I've only finished Act 1 literally the first time.
If you take a lot of the open, like the super open nature of it out, it plays a lot like The Last of Us Part 2 in a lot of ways.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting then, because yeah,
In
that was
my
favorite
memory,
part.
I kind of play. You have more tools, and
You
they're
have,
like
you have more tools.
they're
and
zany and weird.
it's not quite as swimmy, the shooting.
Yeah.
The shooting in Last of Us Part 2 feels good.
Oh, yeah.
I think it feels good, but it's not the same. Like, Snake pops up and it's just like, bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang.
No, he's
Yeah.
a trained
Yeah.
agent, whereas
Yeah.
Ellie is like it feels like she can barely lift that gun sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I want. And, you know, I know you're trying to get to your news, but that was one thing that I liked about...
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck the news. But that was one thing, too, that I liked about Jedi Fallen Order, was that he felt kind of sloppy. Like, the gameplay wasn't tight, but there was that aspect, you felt like you were playing a young Jedi. Like, he didn't feel tight.
If you play on Jedi Knight, you feel like you're fucking playing a Jedi Master.
Well, I bet, yeah. But,
Force pushing down 500
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
yeah, but I like that, though. Like, the character, if the character is young, if the character is inexperienced, it shouldn't feel like you're playing a tight character. Like, it should feel like they are still learning what
Hell
they're trying
yeah.
to do. Yeah. Anyways.
It's a dope scene. Anyways, the training scene where they execute the order.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when it
fuck
happens.
is that
yeah.
part though? Metal Gear 5.
Before you get
gentlemen.
to news,
Sure.
that was kind of a half joke, and then as I was making it, I was going to tell you that I finished Clone Wars.
Oh, how did it end? Good.
really
Very
good.
well.
It's a really good ending.
Do you think you guys should just maybe watch it and like grow up and just suffer the Jar Jar?
Yeah.
I
you should-
think you
And-
should grab your Switch
Yeah.
and
I'm not really a
and put-
podcast kind of game person anymore, you know?
You like to watch the thing you're watching.
I
Right?
like to
That's my
either-
thing
I-
too.
yeah, I like to
that-
watch
Yeah.
or
treat it like
play.
wrestling.
Yeah.
I haven't watched wrestling in years.
I know, because wrestling is that bad. Clone Wars is not.
I don't need to watch Clone Wars.
Clone
I'm
Wars
good.
is
treat it like wrestling.
Clone Wars is not
Never engaged
that
with it.
bad. No, it is. So I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't
just
doing other,
start to finish, like season
start to
1
finish,
all the way.
through. I thought it took till 4. 4 was when I really like. Oh, all of a sudden I'm
Season
pretty into
4,
it.
not
Yeah,
episode 4.
season 4.
Yeah.
But those last
That's a lot of television.
those
dude.
last few
It
seasons,
is, but there's also a
they
lot.
go by quick because they're like 23 minutes or 24
That's
minutes
fair
or
enough.
whatever
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
fair enough.
But then there's also a lot when you go from 4 to 7. So that's
Good. All
you
right.
have to
You know
look
what?
forward to. It's good. That season 7, and even Brando said it too, which I thought was cool. But and I mean, over the years, tech gets better and all that. But just the jump in like the animation and like the quality of the shots and stuff in it and how it looks, and you're like,
The show making. And
yeah. Well, and that's I've said it before. Where I was like, I liked season 7 of Clone Wars a lot better than that last Star Wars movie, like Rise of Skywalker.
I did too.
I can
Yeah.
name 10,000 things. I like diarrhea more than I like that last Star Wars
and like
movie.
I watched it again. I didn't hate it, but that last season of season 7 of Clone Wars, and they finally linked it into the Revenge of the Sith, and you're like,
You see Order 66, and that was like the big thing. Was like
Well,
it finally catches up with Order
You
66.
see what's going
right?
on while
It catches
those
up with the
events. Yeah.
canon with
There's
the
some
movies.
crossover where you're like, oh, I know exactly what's happening in the movie while this part of the show is
Do
happening.
they ever? I shouldn't have. I'll ask you after. I guess.
Let me tell you though,
'Cause there's a-
when you roll over from season 6 to season 7, and that HDR logo pops up in the top corner.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And space suddenly, instead of
Space
being like
looks
this weird
different.
off-white gray,
Yeah, it's
is
fucking black as sin.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah, the quality increases, and even the characters too. Like you look at like Ahsoka and stuff, and you're just like, wow, she just looks a lot better in this than she
Do
did
they,
before.
the thing I was going to ask, do they kind of address her being in the, because her voice is in the most recent Star Wars movie. Do they kind of close that link a little bit in a way that,
I think that there's more of her story to be told that we have not seen yet.
Yeah,
oh, interesting.
yeah, you
Okay.
got to watch it.
Interesting.
And especially, you know what? Especially since she's going to be in Mandalorian, you should
Whoa,
watch.
stop right now. Whoa, I didn't. Is that a thing? Is that?
Oh yeah, that she's cast and
man.
everything.
Oh, stop. Okay, say no more. I need to watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah, because you won't
I need to
enjoy
watch the Clone Wars.
her as much.
I
And-
will, I will say I came out of Clone Wars being like, she's one of my favorite Jedi.
I like the way she holds her lightsabers.
Yeah.
But that is recency bias because every time I see a new way of holding lightsabers or wielding lightsabers, I'm like, fuck yes. How has no one ever done this?
I'm watching Rebels now too. You watch Rebels, right?
The first two I watched and
Guy's got a lightsaber that looks like a gun.
yeah. You
fucking
find out
dope.
I hated it and then you find out why it looks like a gun and I'm like, fuck yeah. Okay. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it all. I watched like 2 seasons or something.
yeah, you should watch through Clone Wars and then go back to Rebels.
Yeah.
'Cause
Now,
those-
now that I know
simple
Ahsoka's
seven
now that I know Ahsoka's going to be in Mandalorian, I have
It's kinda
to,
what did it for me,
unfortunately.
too.
It's
Yeah.
especially the later half. Like if you're gonna watch Rebels again, the later half of Rebels, you need to have seen Clone Wars to like a lot because there's a lot of Rebel stuff that crosses over. So yeah,
Okay.
whatever. Fuck everybody who says that shit's for kids. It's good Star Wars stories.
I
You
have
know what?
I've tried to watch the first season is very hard to watch.
It
The
is,
seventh
yeah, it is
season,
old.
the seventh season very much does not seem like a show for kids. It seems
Yeah,
like a show
'cause
for
the first
more
season-
of our kind of Star Wars.
The first
fan.
season is obviously a weekly serialized show for kids in a way that
Well, but-
they're just going
And the
on
story's kind of told
disjointed
out of
adventures.
order,
Yeah.
and yeah.
But just like even once you start to hit like the stuff with Darth Maul, like you can only keep Darth Maul kiddish for a while. Like there's a reason he's later in that show.
Bear with you. Are you saying I should trust in the Force? Are you saying that
Fuck
the
yeah.
path will reveal
You should also
itself?
trust in your 2 good friends who recommended
All right.
it to you.
I'm saying just play your Switch,
Yeah.
and when
To wrestling on.
when the force will grab your attention when the handle swings from the Switch and you look up and you look at the TV and you don't look back at your Switch, you'll know
That's
you're
it.
there.
Yeah, that's exactly
There's
the
a
best way
certain
to put
sound
it.
effect that goes.
Yeah, and
You'll
you're like,
know you
oh.
can look up.
Yeah, you're like, oh, and you'll just gravitate up, and you'll slowly stop looking at your Switch. Like the intervals will become longer.
This is the way. I just rewatched Mandalorian. It's fucking dope. Oh my god! I'm
Unbelievable.
nominated for a bunch of Emmys. Oh, deserves it.
Well deserving.
And that show's gonna blow up too. Like you
love
know that this next season they're gonna like fucking fire it up.
I
Let's
love
go.
it so much.
It's time.
Far Cry 6's Giancarlo
Esposito.
Thank you.
You want
he's
to
dope. It's so
learn
dope
a
that
little
he's in
bit
that.
more about the Darksaber? You should watch some Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to learn a little more about the Darksaber? You should watch Rebels.
Oh,
I
you
am
want to
watching Rebels.
Great.
you want to appreciate that.
Apparently, every single Star Wars show in the last 10 years has been about the Darksaber at the end
Yes.
of it.
Yeah, it's oh fuck. Anyways,
All right,
we got news.
We
right?
got news. We got news. Metal Gear 5. So this is kind of funny because we saw this cutscene. This thing leaked. I'm sure it leaked. I've watched this cutscene. But if you remember the Metal Gear 5 multiplayer, which nobody does, even though it was actually kind of interesting.
I'm sorry if you do.
Yeah. But you were you were kind of gaining a currency called, well, it was nukes. You were gaining nukes, right? Because remember, Peace Walker was all about nuclear deterrence,
Just like real
yada,
life.
yada, yada, just like real life. There was a choice in there. I don't remember exactly how it works. I think it was when you infiltrated somebody else's base and were successful, you could choose to either take their nukes for yourself, now they're my nukes, and I grow more powerful, or you can destroy their nukes, disarm them with the thought of, no, we're going to disarm the only way to true peace is disarm every nuke.
Right.
And I'm trying to see if I have. Yes, in 2018, it leaked out where we learned there was a cutscene built in Metal Gear 5 where if everyone in the multiplayer disarmed their nukes, we would see this cutscene, somebody hacked it up, and we saw, we're like, oh, that's a cool thing that will never fucking happen.
Yeah.
Kojima, you
It only takes
madman.
one guy.
Literally, if there's one nuke in the world,
Yeah.
we will not go off. I'm proud to announce that as of, I believe this was, what is today? Is the 30th. This would have been the 27th of July, 2020. Andrew, we have disarmed the nukes in Metal Gear 5 on the PlayStation 3.
Fucking right.
I feel like
Yes. Yes.
now it feels like it's over.
It
It feels like we never have to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5 again. And not that I hate Metal Gear Solid 5.
No,
I love
there's
Metal Gear
still a
Solid
hidden
5.
cutscene in there about like Death Stranding is the real Metal Gear 6. Yo, check this out. If you put these
find it.
glasses on with these special filters, you can see the real Metal Gear or whatever.
As a man who still very much describes to there's a reason it's called Metal Gear V and not Metal Gear 5, there's still some Kojima bullshit to happen.
Yeah.
We have not played Metal Gear Solid 5.
We have not played Metal
We
Gear
might
Solid
have
5.
not ever.
You're
But
right.
I can tell you we haven't yet.
You're right. V has come too.
Mm-hmm.
So as of the writing of this, very funny that it happened on PlayStation. As of the writing of this, just to give you a perspective, 19,000 nukes currently on PC, and Metal Gear 5 came out a number of years ago. I don't think anybody is, for the most part, still playing it. 3,000 on PS4. And there were 52 on PlayStation 3.
No.
Also, this game came out on PlayStation 3, apparently. I kind of want to get my hands... As I'm describing Metal Gear 5 on the PS3, I almost need to know what that looks and plays like. Because, like...
I bet you it plays identical and looks worse.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think there are, like, as many... enemy? Do you think, like, it must be the PS3? Yo, the system that could barely run Metal Gear 4? Like, it must be fogged in. Like, are you cutting
Yeah,
only
maybe.
one enemy on the screen at the time? Like, Snake doesn't have a face. Don't look to the front because we couldn't render the front of Snake.
Yeah, like maybe the farther you are away from an area, maybe the textures just don't load in as sharp or something like that.
It seems crazy that game exists on a PS3.
I mean,
but-
it's like sometimes you look back on that stuff and you're like, it's gonna look like an N64.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you're like, PS3 actually looked pretty good. PS4 looks way better.
Metal Gear 4 still looks fucking
Looks pretty good.
rad. Metal Gear 4 is so good.
His butt is smooth and round, not
their
a
butts.
fucking-
All right, there's a lot of butts in that game, and they all
I
are
only care about the one butt.
oh tremendous.
I had to shrink it for Smash Bros. It was so good. Couldn't put it on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, well, they did in Brawl. That was back when.
Clavamai.
That was back when Nintendo fucking. It was just a fucking Wild West. Paper Mario was RPG.
I
Fucking
remember-
Snake had an ass in Brawl.
Yeah, I remember that whatever the next game was coming out where they nerfed Snake's
the
ass,
ass, yeah.
and that being like the thing I glommed onto. What have they done to my boys?
It's like legitimate though. Like there's no way you can just like fake your way through
Oh,
that.
no, they
and be
got
like,
it.
Oh,
out
what?
They got it right. Didn't they do the same thing with like Samus and everything? It's like, oh, she proportions. They changed the
Those
proportions of the
de-sexified
people
people?
in a way that like
Yeah. Brawl.
Cowards.
didn't always make sense.
Cowards.
Yeah.
We talk about how we mentioned earlier in this podcast about how Smash Bros kind of stayed consistent the whole way through. Brawl was the Wild West of Smash
yeah.
Bros, where they were just like, let's fucking try some
8
stuff.
players on a fucking screen at the same time.
Ha, you want fucking Snake in a Nintendo game?
Do
Here
it.
you go, you fucking greedy dickheads.
Do
fucking
it.
Sonic.
Good lord.
Sekiro's getting
No
an
one with
update.
Nintendo would talk like that.
Sekiro's getting an update. We talked a little bit about this. Coming October.
I think this is a better game than Bloodborne by a mile.
Newer. Yeah. I don't want to bring that Game of the Year energy back up in here. They're adding Gauntlet mode, which is 1 life. I think that's pretty neat.
Yep.
You get 1 life if you die, it restarts it. They're also
Die so fast.
yeah. They're also adding a boss rush mode where you can just fight specific bosses from the idol, which is so dope. I've always wanted one because the boss fights in all of these games are
Yeah,
like the
that's why you
thing.
play, yeah.
Totally. And so the fact they're doing it in Sekiro, maybe my favorite of the very dope.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, Bloodborne's very good. If only it ran better. They're also adding, similar to the blood stains that are in the other games, where you can see where other players died, you touch their stain, it shows the last 15 or 20 seconds or whatever before they died, you can be like, oh, there's a hole there. Don't jump down that. That's not a secret passage, that's a hole.
Yes.
It's a little bit different in that you are recording 30 seconds, so you are choosing, like, all right, I'm going to start recording now because I want to show somebody this cool jump move or whatever, and you're leaving 30-second videos around.
Can you put it in bosses? Or
I don't
on the
know.
outskirts of boss fights?
On the outskirts, almost definitely.
Because that would be cool if you could be like, when he does this is how you fucking juke jive it and hit him.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. In Dark Souls, they had a little like text system that you would leave like in case of cleave
Emergency.
or emergency, try rolling or whatever. Or in case
Right.
of stab, try parry.
Yes.
Or they were actually all just like
Get good.
well, no, you would find there was always a character who would be like, because there's bodies everywhere. You'd find a character who was like bent over away from you, and you put a sign in front of them that says, because you could do blank but blank of like dangerous but valuable or whatever. You could try finger but hole, and so it just behind anyone with a rear exposed or beware nice rear or try rear entry.
Give him the oil change.
That's yes.
Yeah.
Various euphemisms for anal sex.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's in Sekiro as well, I guess. And just like the bloodstains, if anybody watches your remnant, you get healed, which is kind of cool. It affects your game. And then the gigaleak. We'll go through this pretty fast because, again, this is... it's cool if you've seen this stuff for us to be here and describe. They're
This
like
is
very high
better to see
quality
than to
rip.
hear, yeah.
Go look this stuff up. If you are at all interested in video games, this stuff is super fucking cool.
Yeah. So I actually, and before we super get into this, because I was super excited about it, seeing it on the forum before we started the podcast, this first one I remember seeing. The first one is the only one I've seen of this.
The 3D model of Luigi
And I have
for
a
Super Mario 64.
Yeah, and I have a tale to go along with it too.
Tell me your tale.
It's not like a super exciting tale.
Well-
But this was one of the first times in my life I ever got looped into a video game conspiracy and actually tackled it fucking head on to see if it was true. Luigi being
What did they
in
tell
that
you?
game.
How did you? What was the version of how to summon Luigi into your game?
So
that you heard?
it was very long, but I can remember I actually printed out the actual guide on how to unlock Luigi in that game, and
Allegedly.
allegedly, and I was running through all of the tasks that you had to perform to make it happen. I can't remember what all of them were, but I
any
can
of them
remember the one I got stuck on, and I can remember the last thing you had to do.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Did any of them involve physically moving the cartridge in the N64?
No, they were all in game. Everything I
Oh,
had to do
okay.
was in game. You
I
had
had
to do it.
way
No,
more bootleg fucking like make sure the cartridge has to be half cocked in there.
Oh yeah,
No
that's
fingers,
fucking,
buttholes.
yeah, I didn't have time for that bullshit.
What are we even doing?
So I remember the one thing I got stuck on, and then the last thing, and how you unlocked him. The one that I got stuck on was there. You remember the ship level? Where there was that boat in the water. I think it was the third level you got to or something.
Oh,
like
that
Jolly
shit.
Ro-
I was
Jolly
thinking
Roger
about
Bay.
the Rainbow Ride.
Yeah, no, not like Rainbow
yeah.
Ride, but it was
Yeah.
that like cove or
Jolly
whatever.
Roger
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
There's an eel, and he scared the fucking shit out
Yeah,
of me.
okay, the
There's a
eel.
star
Yeah,
on his tail.
you got it. I think that was the first, whatever Lapras in that game was called or whatever.
Yes, the Loch Ness monster thing you had to stand on the back
Yeah, and
of.
you hit him in the head and you go,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know
put his head
exactly
down.
what you're talking
With the
about.
voice.
Yeah.
This is
So-
fucking Lapras. Now
Yeah,
you
it
say
was
that.
Lapras, yeah, it
This
was
is
like-
Didn't have a shell.
Even to the sound, it was
Yeah.
Lapras.
Yeah. So fucking Lapras level. So there was that ship, and at one point in the instructions, you had to break the box on that ship.
Okay.
And you did it by letting it go back and forth a certain number of times, and you punched it.
Yeah, because it was the ship was swaying on the waves,
Yep.
and the box
Oh,
was
yeah, I remember.
sliding back and forth. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
and then you'd get something out of it. I think actually you got Luigi's hat out of it, is what you were supposed to get. And then you'd put his hat on.
But no one ever did this.
That was every version I always heard always had you getting Luigi's hat, and you had
Yeah.
to put his hat on.
Yeah. As
It's
far
just like a palette swap, right?
is,
yeah.
Yeah.
but no, it wasn't.
it didn't exist,
No,
was
it,
the
no,
thing.
right, no,
Yes.
no, it wasn't a palette swap. You got
Jump-
the hat.
It jumps higher or
But,
whatever.
but no, it wasn't anything. You just got the hat that just allowed you to then move on to the next thing you had to do.
Right.
But essentially, they were teeing it up as though it was a teaser, like Luigi's in this. But I could never break the box. I could never get past that part because
'Cause you
you
couldn't
can't
do it.
fucking
It's
do
not
it. You
a
can't actually do it.
breakable
So
box.
it's weird that there was like 26 steps after that. But the
That guy was
like
just
any
laughing.
good believable conspiracy
Yeah.
theory, there has to be a follow through.
Otherwise, dumb Andy wouldn't have followed it.
Yeah, you've been like, oh, no steps after this, huh?
I don't want to say dumb. Let's say
Young.
curious.
Young.
Not even young.
Sure, curious.
Curious.
Sure.
Curious.
Well, you use whatever word you want for it.
Confused.
Anyway, so let's continue. So the last thing.
Sorry.
It's not your turn yet.
Yeah. If I say let's continue, it's about me. This is about me right now.
The royal let's.
So the other thing that I remember was the moment when you actually unlocked him. Do you remember that room with the mirrors, with the one mirror that you jumped into and it took you to a level? I think it was the mushroom level or something. Yeah, but like the mirror was hid.
Okay. It was a wall. It just looked like a wall. It was a brick wall.
But no, it was a mirror. It was a mirror. You jumped into a mirror. There was
Did you see Mario on the other side of the mirror?
Yeah, like it was a room of mirrors.
In the N64?
One, I think it was an ice level, actually.
If they could render real-time reflections, I feel like I would remember that on the N64.
Oh, yeah. No, you could see Mario in the mirror. There was a room of mirrors, and there was one mirror that you could actually jump into. Yeah, fuck, here we go again.
Apparently.
There isn't another Paper Mario.
Would you like, Andy, did you know, apparently Lapras thing is called Dory? Lapras thing's name is Dory?
You also know that Dory is not in that ship level?
Lapras isn't?
That's a different. She's in
in a
the
different part of
underground,
the
right? In the
game.
basement.
Oh.
I think. In the basement somewhere. I remember.
I knew it. I was going to just let it go, but then we came back around to it. So I was like, I'll just.
I also knew it was
plug
going to let
it
it go.
Guess I'll go fuck myself. Yeah,
Let's see if there really is a mirror room.
This is the guy who thought Luigi was in the game, so give me a break.
We all
Lapras
did. We all did. I was right there with you as a young man.
Yeah. But did you attempt it, though?
No, we weren't.
I spent a lot of time. Yeah, I spent
The
a lot of
version
time.
I heard. Oh yeah, behind the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, there is. Yeah, it's not a. You like walk into a room. It's not like a defined mirror. It is like a ceiling to floor. The one wall is.
Oh, and it's wall to wall.
Wall to wall.
There's
Very
little pillars.
strangely kind of a mirror. And stone pillars. Yeah, you know exactly.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. But anyways.
Second time you meet the penguin.
Yeah. So it was a nice level,
penguin?
right? It was a nice level.
Yep.
Look at that.
Same penguin?
You're totally right.
This way, it's the level where you get your hat blown off.
Yep.
Yes, we don't know. I don't know if it's the same penguin. I don't know if we're ready to answer
Okay.
So anyways,
that.
you're supposed to.
What are we even talking about? Luigi
in
Super
the
Mario
game.
64.
Luigi in the game. I know this is we've gone on. There's been so much stuff tonight. So anyways, this is supposed to be the final step. I believe you were supposed to go into that room, stand in front of a certain mirror, punch Mario in the mirror 3 times, turn around, and at the opposite end of the room, Mario's reflection is now
Candyman.
Yoshi.
Luigi. So you walk over there, you punch Luigi in the mirror, and then he pops out, and then you can switch between the two of them.
That kind of lines up. I remember the mirror part. That kind of lines up with I think a lot of the rumors I heard, and it was different. It was like, oh, this is how you unlock Luigi. This is how you get to the inverted Peach's castle. This is how all this shit.
Oh, that would be something.
I,
Yoshi on the roof was real.
Yoshi on the roof was real.
Yeah.
I was just about to bring that up too. Yeah, I was going to say that was
like
what
what convinced me as a kid. I'm like, well, Yoshi's real. So
Yeah,
these
I
other-
remember thinking Yoshi on the roof was bullshit in
Yep.
the same way I thought all of this was bullshit. And let me tell you, when I first saw Yoshi on the roof, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah,
What
that's
else?
the problem.
What else might I not know?
That's the problem with these fucking conspiracies is that there's one thing that happens and you're like, oh, damn. Well, now I got to test the rest of this. But now, thank God, the internet's fast enough and you can find reliable sources. You can fish that stuff out better. But
But he was never in there, so it's very interesting that actually Luigi is totally in there.
Yes.
But we could never find him.
It's just code.
anyways, I got a story for all 10 of these other things that I'm excited to
You got a
discuss. Let's move on.
Yoshi's Island prototype.
No, I don't have a story about the rest of these. I was joking.
That one doesn't do very much for me. Some Pokemon prototypes, which shows early designs for Pokemon, which I looked at a few, and I think are fucking incredible. Some of the if you know Pokemon, even if you don't, go look at what they look like today and look at the prototype designs, and you're like, oh.
Are you saying like the Pokemon games or the actual Pokemon?
The Pokemon in the games, but
Right.
like the original designs of like.
Oh, like Bulbasaur. You can see like different versions
I'm trying to
of
remember
him.
of the ones. Maybe like Onyx.
I thought you
I
meant
don't want
there
to
was
misquote.
I thought you meant there was Pokemon that weren't put into the game.
No,
But these
you
are
see-
excuse me. These are designs of Pokemon that exist.
That is correct. There may also be. So I have not super thoroughly gone through all this. There may also be new Pokemon that never made it in. I'm not sure.
That's cool. To comment on your saying that the other designs are incredible, you're always going to think of that about the thing that was not revealed to the world and then is. You're always going to think, oh, that actually looked really cool. Why didn't they go with that?
Next one on my notes: Pokemon prototypes featuring early and unused sprite designs for many monsters. So there, that answers that.
I want you to go back and look up the old Yoshi and tell me if you still believe that whenever you see the other version, you think that
New
they should have
Yoshi
put that.
is fucked, dude. New Yoshi is.
Well, The
can't.
old Yoshi.
Oh, sorry.
The
Yes,
Yoshi that we
this
that we
Yoshi
do
that
not
came out
know.
in the leak leaked Yoshi. It punished Yoshi.
Oh, it's bad.
fucked
It's
up.
bad.
You don't
so,
want that one.
So they made the right call on Yoshi.
I don't know.
Okay.
If bad is it's eldritch in a way. It's like
bad to the bone.
soul-consuming.
Not bad, but like bad ass.
I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, you continue.
Really cool.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Right now.
some sprite data apparently for Luigi giving a middle finger, which is very funny. What else? The stuff I love the most out of this, which I did listen to, some super high quality voice samples. Mario doing the Solongi Bowser. You can very clearly say Solong Bowser.
So we're because
No king. Definitely no king. Could be gay. The gay up for debate.
Yeah.
Longi,
It's
not a
what-
word in
it's-
Italian or English.
Right. It's like I almost thought that Italian people said Solongi when they were
Nope,
saying
I
goodbye
know,
to you,
that's-
only because of this video game. And then I realized, no, they just say so long,
Yeah.
or probably Italian words.
That's right. Arrivederci. What does that mean? Thank you. I have no idea.
I mean, whatever you want it to mean.
Anyway, Warren's gonna have a conniption fit about this.
Oh, we're
'cause-
already going back and forth
Yeah.
on Twitter. He's phoning the offices of Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to. Can you call the radio station? We got
That's right.
We got to the bottom of this. Just get Charles on the radio station. That'd be a big.
I think I have him on speed dial.
The very high quality voice sample of Liquid Snake, aka Star Wolf, aka Camp Clark, saying "Can't let you do that, Star Fox," in a way that like gives me a full erection. I
Yeah.
don't know about you all, but
You're like, it's a shame that technology was at a place that got so fucking changed because that's a voice line.
it's so good.
I gotta go listen to that. I haven't heard that yet.
There's a couple other prototypes in there. What look like a Donkey Kong or a Rayman style game called Super Donkey. It is stuff that you kind of need to see for yourself. I can describe to you all day. You're like, oh yeah, neat. But
Go look this
totally.
stuff
If
up.
you're at all interested in how games are made or Nintendo or you're listening to this podcast, so you automatically qualify. Go look this stuff up. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Couple quick stories here. Cuphead is out on PS4. Surprise!
Yeah, I love that game.
It's out now.
That was our game of the year one year without getting too into how much that upsets anyone.
That was.
I still gotta play that game.
Doesn't upset any of us. We should try to play it together. I tried playing with Kev, and Kev and I sort of bounced off. But you and I known
Fans of hard games.
That's right. I was going to say Souls fan. We'll get you there.
Yeah.
We'll get you there.
We'll see.
And my last story this evening, Netflix and Ubisoft are working on their next video game adaptation. It is an animated Splinter Cell series, apparently.
I have no interest in this.
Me neither. Until I hear that the voice is Michael Ironside, the voice of Sam Fisher. And then I don't care what form it's in. I don't care if it's a fucking Broadway play. I will watch Michael Ironside play Sam Fisher in literally anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything today.
Or any character.
Or any character. I wonder what he's doing. I know he had like a battle with cancer that I think he came out on. Well, he's alive.
Yeah.
Came out on top of.
Right.
Quite a number of years ago. Last thing I saw him in was that X-Men in the past,
Days of Future Past.
where they have the two like warships at the end are shooting missiles, and I think Magneto's maybe trying to. I don't remember.
Yeah,
He
stop
stops
the
them.
missiles.
Two ships are shooting missiles at each other. He's one of the commanders on one
Should
of the
use
ships.
plastic missiles.
Should use plastic missiles.
Fuck, that was a good movie. Hell of a movie.
I think that one was good.
Yeah, I think that one
Yeah,
was
I
very
I
good.
get them
Day-
mixed up, but
Days of Future
So do I.
Past was very
That was
good.
when-
and I
Yeah.
think First Class I really enjoyed too.
Yeah.
Yes, I like
Yeah.
First Class also.
That was when Charles could still walk. He gets paralyzed at the end of that movie. They're fighting
right,
on the
yeah.
beach, and he gets a bullet.
Days
like,
of Future
blocked.
Past, he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
they're kind of apocalypses.
And that was a heck of a moment too, because that was
Good.
Magneto fucking turned on him. He's like, "Don't fucking do it." Magneto's in slow motion, sending that bullet. Charles, like, "Don't do it." He fucking you could see in his face.
You can't just spoil the ending.
Oh, it was good.
He's great. It was very good.
Yeah, it's fucking tremendous.
James
Can't-
McAvoy.
you can't.
Spoilers for the next 5 minutes. Turn your podcast on low.
Stop for the last 5
Is
minutes.
this, did you see the Yoshi?
Oh God!
Kevin has gone to bed like, oh Jesus Christ! Turn off.
Get out of here!
Kevin went to bed like an hour ago. We got to be quiet and wrap this up.
Fuck, he'll understand. Oh,
just leave a note, a picture of Yoshi that says,
This is
"Sorry
what
about
happened."
last night." And it's on his door.
he'll be all mad, like, "Oh, those fucking guys."
Why would you put that in my house?
No, that actually.
Why would you bring that evil in here?
Yeah, I see why you screamed.
This Splinter Cell series being overseen by the writer of John Wick, Derek Kolstad.
That's a feather in the cap, at least.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
No real other information other than they've ordered 2 seasons. which is I think they said 16 episodes, maybe a nice 8-episode season. If it's animated, it's probably half an hour, 25 minutes, something like that. Nice short crush season.
It'll be 30 minutes.
Give us Michael Ironside. I don't know what his rates are. I don't know what he's doing or how his health is.
Don't make this or show without him.
Just get us Michael Ironside.
Why would anyone want to hear about this show without
the
him?
last Splinter Cell, people, it didn't have Michael Ironside, and I didn't think Blacklist was very good, but people like look back on it fondly in a way that maybe makes me wonder if I'm out of touch.
Been there, brother.
No. It's
Usually
the
it's what I
children.
like. Usually-
It's the children who are out of touch, Andy.
Oh, well, they absolutely are. Just look at Star Wars.
Still. Podcast at talkingrouts.com is an email address. I don't have any emails. We did them. We solved them
Fuck
all.
'em.
This is a good, meaty podcast. It wasn't actually that meaty. It felt. This is a bad thing to say at the end of a podcast. Man, this one felt fucking long.
Well, we started a little bit late, so that'll do it. Yeah, that'll start a little bit late. A lot of passion for certain things.
A lot of passion. I love passion.
You know, anytime you fucking slap me with some questions about Paper Mario, or you fucking challenge Matt Eads on the quality of that
Bloodborne.
shitty video game he likes,
dare you.
people are gonna get angry.
How dare you.
Like, we're gonna get angry.
It's the fucking Jar Jar in season 1 is Bloodborne. Podcast at talkingrouts.com is an email address you can.
I don't know what that
join
means.
us.
I thought you liked the game.
Join us here at the show. You know. You at home know. That's all I care about. That's gonna do it for us here. Heck of a show, gang. Thanks for getting back in here. If you enjoy what you hear and want to help keep us on the air, patreon.com. Let's Talking Reckless Podcast. We don't run ads. I do a bad job of monetizing this, so if you want to head on over to patreon.com, toss a few dollars so I can continue to do these podcasts.
You're worst influencer I've ever met.
The influencer joke aside, I'm fucking really bad at all of it. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash that like button. Yo, dog, make sure you smash that like button and hit that bell. Sorry,
Is this what you have to do? Kevin's up there fucking, I'm hitting it! Just giving it.
Andy, I'm doing it. I want to go to bed.
Well, you're getting louder.
Oh, let's wrap this up, Andy.
It's unbelievable. You have just no volume control.
I know, it's the loudest person we've ever had in this studio. Andy, thank you very much. I haven't turned his mic on. He just picks up on yours and mine. Thank you very much for joining us here, brother. Heck of a show. I needed this one. Man, I really needed this one tonight. Yeah, he's gone. That's okay. Brandon Lynch, thank you very much.
A pleasure as always.
Oh, and you at home, thanks so much for listening. For all the folks who do and are able to continue supporting over on the Patreon, thank you very much for keeping us on the air. Lots of stuff coming over there. We're going to be watching Dragon Ball Super on Saturday if you're a patron, so come and join us for some of that. And lots of other content, podcasts, all sorts of extra stuff you get for yourself on the Patreon. He's got himself together a little bit. He's got his hair.
Used his tears
he's put
stand
back
up his hair.
He's like zipped up his cardigan here again and fluffed his perm back. Oh, you all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got a little carried away there. I was really excited. It was good.
And you at home, thank you very much for listening. Remember, no matter how you enjoy this, if you watch on YouTube, there's an audio version. If you listen to the audio, there's a video version most weeks, many weeks. And we do it live as well most weeks, so if you want to come watch that as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you here next week. Stay safe. If you can, stay sane. And we'll see you on the next episode. Talking Reckless Podcast. See you then.